Maisha imepiga tiki, poti imeshona fiti. Skuzi misi shikiki, jumalini kwa mfiki. Doba na ngusha inashika hata bila kiki. Daily skosi riziki, mziki na kawiski. Mekuwa peng, super kona maweng. Life imekuwa vivid, na yona tu kwa frame. Ama 10 over 10, simba jike ni tem. Afno na kasi mimi kuna watu wangekosa fame. Nimepanda bei, circle sasa ni ndogo, kuna watu walibaki njei. Pasa iki nyomba vaz, kauna ganji siwa pay. Kuzi napiga waxing, face on the mask. Kuna tenje kali napiga mapicha safi.
Hata msimame you can see. Sijiukele sifa, I'm living vividly. Kuna deal na ivisha, jemudhaika kuna vacancy. Sijilimit I sifa, I'm living vividly.
Umesota wezi piga picha usiku.
Uko mteja kila saa na hizo form zifanya mini kushuku.
When live vivid.
Wakati we bado kuna kina vivi.
Okay, basi let's live vivid.
Sawa na kichore vako za hivi.
Ati nilicheat sina maoni, siwezi kupea advice, mi siyo maombi. Simu si crack ya juu chini maodi, wanadai kunichai yangu si yaomi. Mi niko na life mimi, na kani eyes zote zikuwa on me. Kama hauna hasta la vista na maskara, sultan alimka na maskini. Ni vivid life, niko na machine ya China, twende tukapewe. Kwangu niko na dau mingi hatari.
Naona nikika, hata msimame you can see. Sijiukele sifa, I'm living vividly. Kuna deal na ivisha, jemudhaika kuna vacancy. Sijilimit I sifa, I'm living vividly.
Umesota wezi piga picha usiku.
Uko mteja kila saa na hizo form zifanya mini kushuku.
When live vivid.
Wakati we bado kuna kina vivi.
Okay, basi let's live vivid.
Sawa na kichore vako za hivi.
Kama ni hours nimeputin na bado kuna Russia. Classy freshman usiconfuse na fresha. Nimeiwai bila kashfa, nilivisha mahesabu si sad for kisota ni laana, ukiomoka ni majini, kubonga ni default, nisikize watu kwa nini. Kama dream iko vivid, chorea wasoro mbona we ujiamini. Step out, hikitu wenanga blueprint na kama umesota, fuliza happiness knockout, na ndo mwanzo wa kipindi, ukibribe refa na mubia firini.
Naona nikika, hata msimame you can see. Sijiukele sifa, I'm living vividly. Kuna deal na ivisha, jemudhaika kuna vacancy. Sijilimit I sifa, I'm living vividly.
Umesota wezi piga picha usiku.
Uko mteja kila saa na hizo form zifanya mini kushuku.
When live vivid.
Wakati we bado kuna kina vivi.
Okay, basi let's live vivid.
Sawa na kichore vako za hivi.
Ndovu ni kuu, tabidi wanijue. Basi weka mkono juu. Hey, vile na bambam, police wana ubaya. Demo wako vile mahanjam, na misi na ubaya. Koseo nite handsome, uskizo ni hekaya. Felicia na Lisa, hivyo ndo mimi niliwa acquire. Tulikuwa na Pamela shule moja ndani ya kwaya. Squeezy vile na meza mara moja utagwaya. Na nanringia sana flat tummy hana taya. Hakuna kila kitu hana gani haya. Mtoto wangu akiitwa KU mtakataa. Hakunaga masomo KU mmekataa. Unapeleka mtoi first year introduction. Baada ya wiki mbili ashajua reproduction. Ndovu ni kuu, tabidi wanijue. Basi weka mkono juu. Yes you. Ndovu ni kuu, tabidi wanijue. Basi weka mkono juu. Yes you.
Yeah, na pull up nangalia kalanguin kana fanyanga Safcom. Luku kasuku lakini kombato ni custom. Penga nalia, mi upenda vile una lap Jones. Baju sitaki kolona girl, please put your mask on. Nekwende tepa melo meza katembe. Anapenda lollipop, analamba kapele mende. Lazima kwe mukamba, jini ya pili ni mwende. Minasikia mademu wa kamba wanapenda make. Kame kari bam bam, kana kaka mamaraya. Nakashotu nenda London, but kumbe ni Odhaya. Ndakusaje kupenda tam tam na jini ya kwanza Brian. Dema naka screen ya Samsung, so vidole go required. Usichomeke you ama studio pata PhD. Tupatana nao Kilimani kama CWST. Social media, the social studies. So nowadays ukitaka kuthikidha we mambie mkafanye GHC. Wala wamesoma ndio sampuli ya homology. Hata reproduction pia sin topic kwa biology. Bora kuna chemistry Pamela can just follow me. Vile ndovu kubwa noma sana nyaka buogoji. Sina marafiki staki mbogi ni screw. Munataka mblande kiasi ndio munisu. Hii city ya usherati tabia mbovu ni true. Big up to Crispa, washajua ndovu ni cool. OG
Akiwalayo shatu juu, basi weka mkono juu. Yes you, ndovu ni cool. Akiwalayo shatu juu, basi weka mkono juu. Yes you.
Okay, baby, ashana mbe napenda form za kunlenga-lenga. Anakamlami bati nami amesoteka. Nimezoea Njerinda, Luna, Violeta. Nimezoea msupa kinroll ya Kavela. Atena gorilla wall siwezi penya. Unadai mate na uko form za ketepa. Ka uwezi buy your drinks basi kwenda. Mina kupa kiss kwa Chris na kill your status.
Tabidi wanijue, basi weka mkono juu. Yes you.
Yeah, hey. You. Okay, I say manzi yangu kwa gasumu. Hey, either nimepagao ni juju.
Cocktail ya Masai na Mkikuyu. Akona gapo ameno na bado she can chew you.
Ama ni lugha inaga lugu. Kiswahili ninayo hadi Kizungu.
Vile meni bamba mshiroe mabebogen shumartae and I'm the bad man she loves.
Futa pzukweka kwa mood. Kavile champagne usavwanga nude.
Ay, champagne uonjaka juice. Nupiga kataska juu. Ndovu ni cool. Tabidi wanijue, basi weka mkono juu. Yes you.
6 million ways to die.
Gang. Nasijawai tambua. Nasijawai tambua my blameless. Nasijawai tambua my blameless. Nasijawai tambua my blameless. Nasijawai. I think I'm Big Mitch. Larry over. Number 9 baby niko all over. Pale kwa dance wambia I'm super bend over. 8 ball iko ndani, game over. GK serikali, me go over. Chocha ati my Range Rover. Ati be what? Mini tomboya, Rusinga Island, amwezi tutoboa. 1990, boy wa Rusinga alikoga foreign minister. At age 19, mtani Octopiza walikuwa shajua minister. Madam kunifuata na mamini skirt. Kisa kodi na jamini, self-employed na jiajiri. Na sijawahi tambua ngoma za naijamini. Na sijawahi tambua mamblena. Na sijawahi tambua mamblena. Hatujawahi tambua mamblena. Na sijawahi tambua mamblena. Na sijawahi cheza chini. Juki kuja ni competition, Octopizo ako winning. Pweza mimi, ukinitake tabidu umetravel costo hadi Malindi, Migadini, kule Likoni, uteremke Nyali kisha Mikandani. Yani kikuja ni costo mzima utapata PI niko ndani. Wapi sembe bana, unapembe sana. Nijitowe rangi, weni ndume bana. Mziki job, mziki dom, mziki smoke ni komandom. Niamini bro nikikushow hizo ni hype. Wana do utani show nini bana. Na mtani bado najiamini sana. Na sijawahi tambua mamblena. Na sijawahi tambua mamblena. hakijawatambua mablame na sijawatambua mablame na sijawai na sijawai na sijawai
nimeshinda nikiomba kali kolabo miaka mingi ananiambia bado hata sisikia vibaya hata sisikia vibaya akanishow rudi studio ukotaka do before you call Jones to be in your video hata sisikia vibaya come show you just give me 1 year I'll be rocking shows from the front to the rear you gonna wish you gave me that chance utalia turn on my lift in my private layer enyewe niko nimesikia vibaya siku hizi mimi ndio unanyima na collab nimepanda be nimepanda kwa wacha wasikie vibaya wacha wasikie vibaya sasa mimi ndo number 1 boss lady wasikie vibaya nimekuwa chini nikiasol daily na sina ubaya shikisha kama bebe isili na washikisha na manchebe baridi uzidi tazidi wazidi kusikia vibaya wacha wasikie vibaya wacheke na wewe wakutakie mabaya kwangu kila laheri Mungu wangu halali wakidhani tafeli nazidi hadi Ulaya napiga luku na swag hadi retire najaza buku kwa dendri begi ni fire nipate mwisho wa mwezi cheki ni wire napiga picha selfie kwa benki na sina haya chema cha jiuza ni ya leo ni ya leo ni ya leo kuuza tutauza ni ya leo ni ya leo ni ya leo nywele paka mafuta ni ya leo ni ya leo ni ya leo kuuza tutauza ni ya leo ni ya leo ni ya leo number 1 boss lady wasikie vibaya nimekuwa chini nikiasol daily na sina ubaya shikisha kama bebe sili washikisha na manjebe baridi uzidi tazidi wazidi kusikia vibaya wasikie na tena na tema na penda ni kama nimetoka tena usikie umeelewa
Welcome to the Recovery Show here on Radio 254 every Sunday. Remember, from 7 p.m. all the way to 10 p.m. And today's show is quite different. Wahura hako, lakini ako at the same time. That means Wahura is our guest today. So we are not hosting it with Wahura. However, we are hosting it with DJ Flair. Oh, sorry. I'm saying it wrong. DJ Flair. So our resident guest, the recovery show's very own. You know, jina nilikuwa tafuta. Wahura. Tusalimie. You know, I was thinking the other day. Sasa mimi siku moja nitakuwa guest hivyo. Me, I'll take over your show. Our resident guest. Wahura, say hi to us.
Hi guys.
I know it's the same voice, but imagine it as a guest. I feel like I'm going to side ingine. Hii side ndio nakuanga guest.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your show today.
Hold on. This is a very important moment.
Hi guys, and thank you so much for inviting me to your show today. It's such an honor.
Welcome.
It's such an honor.
It's such an honor to be invited to the Recovery Show.
So I've heard.
I listen to you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. Normally we have someone else, but today we are carrying the show.
What you're doing is just a fantastic job and to greater heights.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
As you've heard it from Wahura, our guest today, not Wahura the normal one, you know, but Wahura, our guest today. So Wahura is our wine expert.
Well, I wouldn't call it that way.
That is what we are calling it. You don't call it. We are calling it that way.
Wine connoisseur. You know,
sorry, a wine who?
Connoisseur.
That is the one. Shans.
There's one thing I noticed about these two gentlemen here who are hosting me today.
Okay.
This guy.
What have you noticed?
Can throw down.
Thank you.
And individually, they are lovers of good food, and I have seen some of the videos that they've done, and it's such a beautiful thing.
Hata chipo tuko nayo leo.
Being among such greatness. So, other than wine, I think I'll also be talking about wine and food pairing because it is also what I do. So,
That is very interesting.
So it's such an honor to be here. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. We are happy to see you. We are happy to have you here. We've been looking for you for a very long time.
I know. It's my schedule.
Hey, man, you are manager all the time. I had to come to wherever you are to ni karibu nipindue manager wako. We were almost fighting.
I get it, but finally we're here.
Anyway, guys, let's listen to one song as we welcome you to the show, and we're gonna kick off. We always have a segment here, by the way.
Really?
We call it Welcome to Kenya, where we have different stories that have happened throughout the week.
Yes.
And I'll just kick you off one as we go to our music. Kuna mtu leo alikuwa na drive reverse.
Actually, was it today?
It was today.
Because
either it happened yesterday or today.
I think the caption I saw was that the video was not dated.
It's not dated.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take it as it happened today. Yes,
I saw that.
But there's a backstory to it. It turns out gears zilikuwa zimespoil.
Oh, no.
The one that was working is the reverse one.
Oh, no.
Na mimi silipi gari inivute, hiyo ni pesa. So what do? You have your friends wanakuangalilia that side na unaangalia this side and you drive reverse all the way mpaka Nakuru na Nyuki na?
Demoko anasema una cheat.
Na wewe unangangana kumfikia. Sometimes.
So let me ask, was this person caught or what happened?
Apparently was arrested later on.
Oh no.
Yes. But because that is actually dangerous driving. Hata kama ni mjanja alifika, it is dangerous driving.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, the Recovery Show, and with today's guest, the one and only wine connoisseur. I'm saying it right.
You're getting there.
Wine connoisseur Wahura, the very own. Coming up next is Only One Delo. Chupa kuchupa.
Only one Delo. Hello. Only one Delo. Hello. Delo.
Day on the beat.
Tupa kutupa, mina saka ganji kisha lipuka, punguza yo pupa, tupa kwa pipa, mini na kipaji na jom na bambika, kama niliteguni pato mepika, kama weni maiguni pato metisha, sura za mababuni mazezi na tishana, kama wezi moni tabidu na pisha, ikus inatupa siezi fika bei, heri shike mafuta nijipige daily, nikisaka shimo ya kunitole mabebi, maziwa iwe fiti kutoka kwa hizo jegi, mini mauru bila katapila baby, unacheza nayo mbulu unacheza videli, hati ukiamini Mungu bado utadedi, hii ndio ufala ilifanya sigio zangi pedi, chupa kuchupa, tupa kutupa, piga hiyo shasha dizina lipuka, itamuri sasheze nae kaboka, piga mori dash, piga brother ya lita, sema team siku sako, jua inatisha, ukiwa na wakando utaki kapicha, ukiwa yule wako mazuna chachisha, tupa kuchupa, tupa kutupa, mina saka ganji kisha lipuka, punguza yo pupa, tupa kwa pipa, mini na kipaji na jom na pambika, uko ndede na yo mazejo ni noma, nataka nikushike kama homa, full stop non stop bila hata koma, kama ni noma ite basi noma ngoma, kama ni ngoma noma ite basi noma, only one Delo wakicheki wanakonda, only big things alishika anakonda, mina washa koro na mambanga mina bonda, mina cheza solo nina right na donda, wabebwe kama nimesonga, kama nimesonga, usidunge black joto, wanapiga nduru nimeshinda loto, wanasikia wivu nimeshika toto, na akienda chini usikose mboto, tupa kutupa, mina saka ganji kisha lipuka, punguza yo pupa, tupa kwa pipa, mini na kipaji na jom na bambika, Tenje imejaa namba za mapedi, kifua imejaa moshi ya mafegi, na uambie imejaa nimesema mdeli, sema mwambia imejaa anifike bei, na tesa huku njei, na pesa misipewi, seme tujinice tu, adi tujinice, tujinice tu, tujinice tu. Tupa kutupa, tupa kutupa. Mina saka ganji kisha lipuka, punguza yo pupa, tupa kwa pipa. Mini na kipaji najua mnabambika. Tupa kutupa, tupa kutupa. Mina saka ganji kisha lipuka, punguza yo pupa, tupa kwa pipa. Mini na kipaji najua mnabambika. King of genge, only one delo. Allo, allo.
Yeah, reputation is them, gengenge mlenge kujana ndenga. I can't believe these days, nitoka jail kakujua na dem. Ina day ones pekee, mori wanzenza. Madenge madingo plus mapinji wa mkuru kwa njenga. Reputation is them, gengenge mlenge kujana ndenga. I can't believe these days, nitoka jail kakujua na dem. Ina day ones pekee, mori wanzenza. Madenge madingo plus mapinji wa mkuru kwa njenga. Muza za mamzinga, zile kalikali kama chuzi za simba. Mnabonga mtanishika shati kwa keja ya mabati. Mmejificha wapi? Mwanga na ndinga, lakini bado mwenda rotejo kwa mtindwa. Westnet share life, mimi nilikuwa na do street na party party. Nye mkivishwa napi? Mimi ni wrong rende boy machachari. Say to my face una beef kina nani? Oh my gosh samahani, mitishamba ndomboga plus ugali flani. Hizi side miracle hazifanyikangi, msali ndroga la chakamen laani. Rap game haitaki chali na usichangae mbona juni mimi nimeimari. Lay down flat, stay on your lane in case haujajuta pepetwa. Serial killers at fighting itera, in short to me upgrade weapon. Fake ass niggas backbiting haters, kazi ni ku update status. Wivu juni city paper chasers kwa kila bus station, BS hadi afya center. Miss Chezi was there, muki ni cross utagenya. Kuna dem anashinda kiteta kikuja, asipate mbogi kokeja. Fine girl lakini wezi sema pia ni jeshi ya kusumbua feds in Kenya. Mayengs unipenda, shori ndenga anataka kuchukua selfie tena. Sisi zetu ni hustle, acha tukuachie working castle. Manager alirudishwa home, promoter lidai kumit dosh in person. Niko kuberi na mandom, pale Instagram I wrote this caption. Munga mutembea na makrom, hata nisipo act tutavuliwa na kovu vihasho.
Siendi, wambio watafute plan B, ndio nikuje watume kwa paybill. Nyima promoters wapendi, shughuli kubwa huku spending. Hakuna kitu fupi ka weekendi, ongea bus what you can be. Appearance 10 G's, nikizoza hawapendi. Hini akikombana ni fendi, huku ni kuban mona mengi. Mpaka mandugu malaya wa shenzi. I never knew they would play me, na manisha kwa radio na telly. Hey, revenue looking crazy, ndakodesha kabenzo na Bentley. You talk much hautendi, youth fund iko pending. You fuck niggas just can't be serious, bullshit's trending. These old niggas can't bear me, these new niggas ain't family. These old niggas can't bear me, these new niggas ain't family. Na kwanga ro, on the low but naeza banda boy. Kidogo ni kangembanga boy, nikiwa mtoi nilikuwa na ganza toy.
Obe baba si kidogo ni kani mbali mi nafika sijali na hali mi mkali niko ndani kama linafika bay bila chali nafika bay tidiani toto fulani bikali lakini rhyme flow fitika easy. How many times I'ma tell you this? I need a nigga like Nyari. He making a money, he making a mami go loca. Chisinda culo, feeling the lingua, feeling the bruja. The brewery, Bella Rosa, chiki manzi bila ring. Jaggy fiti bila fit when I like on the feel. Obe baba hini real, obe baba hina kill like nani na kill. If you don't get kwa misitu, panda miti bila kitu. Ay, listen, ati maslendo ni wale wa obe baba bado mimi ndo ule wa shika yo lada. Taste fiti kama laga, haga seti kama lada. Fika yo bay.
Gengenge mlenge kujana ndenga. I can't believe these days, nitoka jail kakujua na dem. Ina day ones pekee, mori wanzenza. Madenge madingo plus mapinji wa mkuru kwa njenga. Reputation is them, gengenge mlenge kujana ndenga. I can't believe these days, nitoka jail kakujua na dem. Ina day ones pekee, mori wanzenza. Madenge madingo plus mapinji wa mkuru kwa njenga.
London Black Market Records.
It's your favorite boy, Cash Kid.
Naspendi kukeleleshwa weekend uko kileleshwa nilikuwa nimeshika wochi mashati tulikuwa tuko bashi vima moshi tukiban mazigi kumbe wecheme tuseti kwa mdosi shamra kelele na mapekele za keroro alafu kumejaa moshi kiranda rando kundani kwa hii party tutapatana na mangeo Scarfote na wako
Remix London
Black Market Records.
It's your favorite boy, Cash Kid.
Naspendi kukeleleshwa weekend uko kileleshwa nilikuwa nimeshika wochi mashati tulikuwa tuko bashi vima moshi tukiban mazigi kumbe wecheme tuseti kwa mdosi shamra kelele na mapekele za keroro alafu kumejaa moshi kiranda rando kundani kwa hii party tutapatana na mangeo Scarfote na wako so noti na wanaitisha noti uzuri niko na flow so sikosi lip gloss mikosi na vibe ni vitu kozi na baa zangu wa chuma ya doshi shamra kelele tekebekele sherehe hadi tunakuwa fossil shamra kwa party hadi kabati mapanti kati ya mapati
You know them call me the lion, hot kama iron, moto kama lion, coming straight out of Zion. That's why I need bala, you never seen a boy tired. Every girl I'm a do over, only me them require. Yo, you from the uptown or you from the ghetto? Shit ain't non-stop, every day be like Maneno. Yo, them call me remix killer, uliza heno. Signing out, lying to another fella.
Akakadem kazuri joka kovero kishamsham kinyam kitamtam shuka na ngeo sezi mendata kapedo dem nikafupi kanapenda magendo ngoma nikaliuliza makurutu gangang imebakisha ngwe kelele na nderemo shamra kelele na nderemo shamra kelele na nderemo kishamsham kinyam kitam shamra kishamsham kelele na nderemo kishamsham kinyam kitam shamra kishamsham kelele na nderemo
Usonga samala pomana na mala wala vya fayongo maganzi adewa mala yakala kova magaga mana sagala yala nyapa bada basi tenga forense Montana yeah who that everybody should know me that people them ask how I do that I told them I was born that
yo Buddha nimekuwa nimelost kwa muda bado fresh na ishem kama muda mabeshe wali nitokaga kama Juda
London
Haiteza tukibazu tuki Unjua nishaji kale nishatoka Benzima sizi nipate kwa ring vaccine nishaget corona kwangu nibia tunapigwa lockdown cheki wanatubibia fanya fasta GFE ataingia lama kitu kama chucha ikamia acha maringo na jowezi ukajo kama udagi
London
Sham kinyam kitamtam shuka na ngeo sezi mendata kapedo dem nikafupi kanapenda magendo ngoma nikaliuliza makurutu gangang imebakisha ngwe kelele na nderemo shamra kelele na nderemo shamra kelele na nderemo dem kazuri joka kovero kishamsham kinyam kitamtam shuka na ngem kazuri joka kovero kishamsham kinyam kitamtam shuka na ngem kazuri joka kovero kishamsham
London
Welcome back to the Recovery Show. That was Shamra Kelele Nanderemo, the remix by All Stars. Ikona Mbuzi Gang, the normal people. Ikona Naiboy, ikona Christoph, ikona John Black, not white. Frasha, Mimkare, and many other people. Welcome to the Recovery Show with Rancho and DJ Flair. And today we have a sommelier. Our sommelier. I hope I'm saying it right. With our, let me say it again for the camera. Our sommelier. Yes.
Don't worry, you'll get it with time. But you're not so far.
I'm not so far. Yes. Kisungu kidogo hivi. Alafu nitaenda mbali. Our sommelier, tell us your name as we get direct into our first segment of the show.
So my name is Wahura Magoye. And other
are you related to the Wahura Magoye of this show?
Yes, I am. Yes,
Yes.
I am related to
Mm.
Wahura Mogoi.
Mnafanana hata.
She is an amazing person.
Okay, that's it for that. You tell us about you. That's enough of that.
So, other than because I also am a radio presenter.
Oh my God! No, you don't say. You don't say.
So other than that, I deal with alcoholic beverages.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny enough because last week the Wahura that is here,
Yeah.
he even told us alikuwa tufunza sana about alcohol. These were like the one and the same person.
Na leo tunakufunza sana vizuri.
Ni kama tuko deja vu.
Oh,
and not the club.
So yeah, so but a majority of what I deal with is wines.
Mm-hmm.
I work with a restaurant called Cellar's Grill.
Mm-hmm.
Cellar for Wine Cellar. It's a wine bar and restaurant. We deal with a lot of wines, and it's true that I became a sommelier or a wine connoisseur, if you'd like to elaborate.
Kuna mtu anaandika hizi vitu
But I don't
mkopelie.
but I don't like using the term sommelier because I normally feel like a sommelier is, top rank wine expert. But in clear definition in the dictionary, actually what I do is sommelier work. So what a sommelier does is that we recommend wine when you come to the restaurant, depending on the food that you're eating. If you're not having any food, well, depending on the time of the day, depending on what your palate is like, that's when I can be able to recommend the wine for you to enjoy.
Okay. That is a very interesting information. I didn't know the time of the day determines the kind of wine I'll take.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Fila itabidi tuache kunywa keg sasa. Kinywa keg tunaweza kunywa saa yoyote. Haina saa yoyote. Wao ski wine iko na hadi time haikunywangi hivi hivi.
Unakunywa
So,
kikula.
other than that, I also teach about wines because we normally do wine tasting events. So there are instances where I wear the hat of a teacher and I teach about wine and how to pair your wine with your food.
So for our guest question.
Yes.
White or red wine would you prefer?
Me. Red dry.
Red dry.
Yes.
Hata si red too. Red dry. Red dry.
Kuna red na dry wine.
Red,
Na red
full-bodied dry.
Wow.
Yes.
Today brought notes.
We'll talk about that as we go.
No problem. Let's welcome ourselves to Kenya, and we'll start from a county in watu wamekuwa held accountable this week. Watu ya Uasin Gishu. They have been held accountable by the residents, and I wish this is something that can happen everywhere.
Yes.
Because this is very interesting.
Can I wear my?
Yeah, change your hat. Change your hat.
Yes, now I'm back, guys.
Oh my God, it's like she never left. It's like she never left. Umekuwa hapa isa yote.
Yeah, I've been around.
Okay, so what do you think about that situation?
Let me tell you, I hope that the people of this generation have seen that it's good to be fearless.
Yes.
And I hope we're going to continue with that trend until our leaders are held accountable. I wish we have like 100 people who are like that lady. What was her name?
Mercy Taras.
Mercy. And she declined a job offer.
Aliambiwa our senator alimwambia my guy unataka job akasema first of all check your people first. Tell them to give us our money.
Yeah.
Then you can give me this job.
A job.
And I was like, that is the champion we need. Hakuenda interest zake tu.
I wish we have such people in society, especially young people who are ready to stand up for the truth. Because honestly speaking, these leaders, we are the ones.
That was a lot of
we are
money.
the ones that chose them. Okay.
So we need to hold them accountable.
Unfortunately, they should be held accountable. They should be held accountable.
And the thing is, it's not only her who held them accountable. Yeah. Everyone at that forum held them accountable. There's a guy who was even crying.
And let me say this. And I thank her for opening up because I think it's her courage that
put her there.
Others that allowed others to do the same.
Mhm.
Because we normally have people who complain about our government, they complain about our leaders and
And just move on.
And that's the end of the complaint.
Mhm.
But now that we have someone who's spoken up and said, by the way, mlikuwa mfike hapa saa 3. Saini saa.
Kwanza saini saa ngapi?
We have people who
Tuanzie
have
hapo.
diabetes. There are people who have
Depression. Wewe hata hujui dawa ya
And these are
depression.
people who need to take medication. Wewe mwenyewe hujui depression, dawa ya depression ni gani? And then
The moment niliona ameulizea swali, I knew it was over for this guy. I knew it was over.
And then the way she finished and said, by the way, kama mnataka kuniua muniue because I have nothing
To lose anymore.
exactly. And
Hakuna kitu mbaya
big
kama
up to
someone who
that lady.
can't
Big up
lose
to that lady.
anything.
And I wish that we have more people like that in society who
Mhm.
are ready to stand up for the truth and fight for the truth. I saw Wangari Maathai in her.
Yeah?
I saw Wangari Maathai
I was
in her.
equally impressed kwa sababu to stand up and talk to your leader like that, because you are the one who gave them the job. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
You are the one who gave them the job. So you're kind of their boss.
Yeah.
So for them not to show up on time first, it is a problem.
And
I
the other day-
think nilikuwa nikifikia hapo. The other day si walifungiwa nje. Do you know
Na Mr.
the
President.
next meeting that was there? Mmoja sijui nimesahau ni CS wapi. Alikuwa amefungiwa nje. Walikuwa kutana 8, alikuwa hapo 6. Alilearn lesson. So one thing I understand from this government is that you will learn to keep time, one, and two, you will learn to do your job.
Yeah.
So yes, we could not be in the best situation as possible, but probably things will change. We are hopeful for that.
Hopefully.
Now we are going to go a bit out of Kenya kidogo,
Mhm.
because this week on Monday, actually I think it has been trending the whole week.
Mhm.
Alabama.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys have watched
I don't
Montgomery WrestleMania.
I should buy myself.
Hey,
You're wearing a hat today.
I am wearing a hat. I have the seat. I am ready. Montgomery SmackDown.
Black people are rising.
Hey, Baba, they fought
Black
the.
people are
Hey,
Was it last Sunday we were talking about this thing as well?
No. It was. I think it was a while back.
No, I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Una vile mambo inachemka huko.
Things are changing for the black
The tides
community.
are changing, but those people got what they deserved. However, there's a follow-up story to it. After the arrest, these people were taken to hospital.
Yeah.
The police took them to the hospital, and turns out the person who was attending them did a TikTok. You know, life is just amazing. Your FYP just takes you to just places you didn't know. Akasema, one, I am white, but I'm glad they were beaten up. Niko, okay, that's a different way to take it. Akasema, turns out they were very racist towards even the people that were attending to them hospitally.
No. What?
So kwanza the first
they
thing,
didn't learn their lesson.
they did not learn their lesson.
Me, the thing that fascinated me is the way the guy threw the hat. It was like,
And now,
My people,
anyone that's being jumped, if you see the hat being thrown, it don't matter where you are, go there. Someone is calling for help. This is backup.
let me tell you guys, I think the internet will finish us one day. Guys have been doing that trend all week.
You guys are talking about the guy. Me, my favorite guy is the guy with the chair. Jamal talk out of nowhere, everyone was getting cheered. Left, right. Kwanza kuna madam alikuwa chini.
Now, you were saying these guys were being racist towards the people that
were attending to them in hospital after they are beat up. So nobody wanted to attend to them. So police wakawambia, it's either you guys chill or go to jail like this.
Yeah.
Si tunajaribu kuwasaidia lakini hamtaki kusaidiwa.
Yeah.
So all the black people that were there to attend to them wako, no, not these people. I can't betray my kind. You take your people, attend to them. Yeah, I know I have a medical obligation, but not you. Just not
today.
you. But let me tell you, nobody will mess with black people again. You can't. After people are buying chairs. People are buying the fold chairs just in the event that something happened. Over 10 people were arrested that day. The brawl ilikuwa very interesting. Ilianza tu mchezo. Venye jamaa alikuwa attacked me, the guy that swam is the real G. Msailo na best yake anavamiwa aliswim. Yani you're swimming for your aliswim lakini by the time anafika hapo vita imeisha. It was the effort for me.
No, but it was still
it was very interesting.
It was very amazing to see that.
But and then I think there was another Detroit America kuna mambo mingi. Mse black anapigwa na mse white akachukua kiti hata yake ilikuwa anyway, this is the for anyone in the US are listening to us and they're black, ukivamiwa tafuta kiti.
Look for a chair.
Look for a chair. Defend yourself, my brother.
With foldable chairs.
Now, let's answer na good news. The Premier League is back.
Ooh, yes, baby.
And kama kawaida sisi as the pace setters, we set the pace. We set the pace. Right now, Arsenal, hivi kidogo tu wa draw. We were praying that the first game should not go their way. We just wanted something. Lakini kibahati mzuri wakaweza kuponea chupuchupu.
Bahati nzuri ama bahati mbaya?
Bahati yao.
Bahati mbaya.
Ni yao. However, right now
support Arsenal.
Walishinda Nottingham Forest.
Wanakuanga wanoma by the way, wanakuanga wanoma. Nottingham si wachache.
Easy teams, easy underdogs.
Sure.
Usiwahi underestimate.
Never underestimate the underdogs.
Right now,
it was Wolves.
Wolves no bad.
No. Let me tell you.
Kesho. Sunday iko mbali next week. Sunday jiteteni mapema. After mmenunua watu wote.
Kwa mteja.
But good news for Manchester United, you guys have finally sold Maguire. Something had to give.
Yeah.
Now right now tuko na Chelsea versus Liverpool. The game imerudi second half, dakika ni ya 52. Wanapelekana kwa 1-1. Wanashindwa kutolewa tu mabao.
Chelsea wamejaribu
ndio wanashindwa Chelsea bana.
Wamekosa ma sponsor. Maybe ni waamke.
I was surprised.
Let me tell you, the season is still young.
It just started.
Please do not count your eggs.
Your eggs in your basket before they hatch.
Do not count your chicks before the eggs hatch. Because that is what Arsenal went through last season. Kiliwaramba mwishowe. Na watakueleza ya kwamba it did not go well for them.
Ukianza tafadhali tulia. Mimi nakumbuka the best part. The best part is when they printed shirts. That is when I knew kiburi wali print t-shirt ya ligi venye wameachana watu na 13 points. By the end of that season hawakuwa wanaamini. Nataka kuona hizo t-shirts by the way.
Arsenal.
Saini madasta.
Ni madasta saizi rosha hao. Lakini Arsenali tafadhali award for the wise.
Msi celebrate mapema.
Be like marathoners.
Kikombe moja wameshinda last week. No peace.
Community shield.
Shilingi ya 5.
Kitu
sahani.
Pikani vitu kubwa. Chana na vitu ndogo.
So there's a wife somewhere in the US. Now yes. The US is just interesting story.
What did
she was diagnosed with cancer, unfortunately, and she was told she has 9 months to live.
Oh no.
Right?
Yeah.
So she goes to the husband. She's like, "Hey my bro, so umesikia vile tumeambiwa?"
Yeah.
Ako sawa, my bro, unajua venye tumeambiwa huko sasa masaa, my time is limited and I want to leave. The husband is like, I support you. Unajua venye samanga, I support you, you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
He should have kept quiet. Because she said, give me one more time to sleep with my ex. Bro. Yeah? And let me, you know what we should do, Flair? We should fear women in the next hour.
Fear this gender.
What do you mean because you're dying? What happens if you actually get cured and not die after that?
She's smiling. I smile.
Ako shocked.
Yeah, that's go girl.
No.
She said, for my dying wish.
Imagine.
For my dying wish.
Wait.
I would like one more night.
Let me ask. Are you sure it's a real woman?
Yes. We confirmed the story.
Are you sure it's...
Our team confirmed the story. She.
They them.
How long have they been together with the husband?
They said for over 5 years.
Over 5 years. How long had they did it before?
Sasa hapo hiyo ni mambo yao hiyo sasa.
Lakini sasa unajua pia you can't say some things just out of the blue. It means that there
was something haikuwa imeisha pale.
Yeah. She's never forgotten about her lakini US kuna.
Lakini imagine uko unakufa, imagine. Una dead.
Hapana, kama unakufa, it is your time to align yourself with things of God.
Hata gitisha permission.
What are you doing?
This is your time.
Hapana. No, it's time to repent, seek for, for guidance from God. Create your path to heaven.
Not to hell.
It's not a time to play around with earthly pleasures.
Wacheni ni wabambe. What do you know about Australia?
I just know it's a hot place.
It's a hot place
that gets wildfires.
The roads get too hot. Hii gari ya clean water huko inabidi waende kwanza wapoeshe barabara kwanza. Kuna kwa kubaya, by the way. What do you know about Australia?
Wako very strict na kuingiza vitu chakula.
In the country.
Actually, food tu ki-import kama kwa ndege tu. Kama uzi anything edible uwezi ingia. Najua kuhusu hiyo.
Really?
I've been told that security is no joke, by the way. It's no joke.
Wait, there's normally a show that is about airport something.
Yep.
Ilianza Australia ama ilianza wapi?
Ilianza hapo, I think ni Sony something. So entertainment.
What has happened?
Anyway, me I know Australia for their weird animals because they always just have some weird animals.
There's also that.
And it doesn't get as weird as a spider that was spotted in the supermarket in Australia. Now the spider is believed to have very weird poison because as if it ikikuuma hivi as a man, you get painful erections. And I was trying to understand. Wait, hold on.
It's a woman?
Yeah, they didn't say about a woman. They were just,
but the boys, yo.
And I was like, how painful.
Promax.
2.0 testosterone. Because what do you mean you get painful erections, Baba? How? What kind of spider is
how
this?
Did they get to know that it gets you painful erections?
I think kuna mtu alidungwa mahali.
Research.
Hebu bro ingia pale tuone what will happen to you.
Ndio hapa hizi. Mosquitoes.
No, but it's true. Australia has weird.
The weirdest of animals. Just live there. The big spiders, everything big and weird. Just live somewhere in Australia. So this one I was like, this just proves me further that even if I was paid to go there, I would say no. But anyway, we never know. No, because of things that will kill me there. There's more than 10 things that will take me out.
Speaking of spiders, kuna kijana alikubali kudungwa na
ndio kwa Spider-Man.
Uliona?
Huku Kenya wanazimeza hata.
Kenya sijui kwa America malikuwa.
Huku Kenya wanazimeza hata for clout.
Alidungwa na Black Widow. Imagine ati mtakuwa Spider-Man mimi.
I hope ako Spider-Man.
Kwa hospital.
Now let me leave you with one question that I saw today and I was very confused as well.
What?
So when a bald person showers and they wash their head, do they use shampoo or body wash? Could you body wash in your mwili bado? Uko una nywele. Do you use shampoo or do you change to body wash?
Utatumia shampoo kwa hizo nywele zina grow.
Hakuna kitu. Umeona
shampoo.
Umeona nani anakaa sasa anaitwa aje? Mamito. Clean hivyo. Shave clean.
But si
mtu mwenye kipara.
Mbaya.
But si nywele grow eventually.
So unatumia
si shampoo,
body wash. Mi bado niko kwa body wash.
Hapo ni body.
Hapo ni body.
Shampoo body wash.
Una mix zote.
Shampoo na body.
Unasikia hiyo story? What do you think the kids?
Both.
You use shampoo for hair you don't have?
Si kuna follicles bado zenye ziko kwa roots zina grow.
Uongo.
Body
wash everything.
Kuna shampoo hapo pia. Na conditioner.
Anyway, when we come back, we'll talk to our resident Somalia when she gets back, because Wahura is here. Hi, Wahura. How are you doing?
Hi.
Welcome to the Recovery Show. Finally, we can say we are hosting it with Wahura and DJ Flair and Rancho.
Thank you, Rancho.
No problem. By the way, amesema hii show ni poa, sisi ni wakali. Tumambo tunapikanga.
Bana.
So when we come back, we're going to DJ Flair's Twitter. Jebu tupe jina mix.
Pandology hapana.
Afromash. What? Right about now, let's get to DJ Flair's Afromash. This is the recovery show. Every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Radio 254. Hi, Wahura.
Hi, Rancho.
Kila kitu Gori, kila kitu Gori, Nairobi Gori, 254 Gori, hey hey Gori, Jia Gori,
Kaze basti morning mingi naweza kuonyesha hivi changa cha kila ukiona for me don't get brother let me know location to me take me na call kuwa beba na mabengo
Tia Flair
Kaze basti morning mingi naweza kuonyesha hivi changa cha kila ukiona for me don't get brother let me know location to me take me na call kuwa beba na mastingo that's my stingo ukiona for me don't get brother let me know location to me take me na call kuwa beba na mastingo that's my stingo hey classic kama Eddie Joe Mali swafi kiru wafi shop Hini kali kama Oji Jones Kawi pendi tapidi umemeza tropical Masti ngona piga mumo pliki Odi Jo After osi piga party after party stop Akiwa front kama hadis mwambia back it up Piga shot yaki mkazi hadi ujoni wa Top it off na kimaji ndo si blocky bro Kaki logo yako nyagi bado tuko strong Tuko on kaki mwaki hawezi turn it off City on Nairobi city chick for Austin go
Ati we cover chain okay just let me know what you know we pushed infinity the pedal to the floor just my stingo watch my swali in Nairobi my little Ati we cover chain okay just let me know what you know we pushed infinity the pedal to the floor just my stingo
feeling so fresh so juicy only rock with the best I'm choosing I got the sauce I'm choosing in the ghetto at the same time bougie ooh it wanna take a photo cause my style look good caught a good vibe I can feel it in my soul driving around Nairobi like a boss I don't mean to brag no I don't mean to floss off cross on the highway listening to Westy, thank God that it's Friday, man, we so fly, it's our time, on the dance floor, do my dirty wine, I'm a kawaida, I clear, I'm a kawaida, I clear, I'm a kawaida, I clear,
King in the north. Hey, no money liko maganja
maganji, noma ni wani mtiaji, noma ni niko magadi, noma ni niko bagadi, noma ni mini refugee lakini saijo siko kwa kambi, noma ni very soon kikoro boy natoa kitambi, noma ni hamni bambi, noma ni wote mababi, choria OG UGK, ona ni kompia na bandi, noma ni niko maganji, noma ni una kipaji, wale nje dozi na kala clash, ita pita marangi, daro niko mabangi, ita Mr. Matiangi, noma niko mangiai, wewe tuko mayai, Jogo Road pale Amsa hapo ndo utani wai, kujeni na ex wangu bado msikia mwezi ni wai, noma ni mi baba Tracy, noma ni mi baba Zara, noma ni mi baba Freddy Flacco wakiniona wanahala, noma ni mi baba Malcolm X wadimu wananidara, noma ni uliokoka, noma ni niko mogoka, noma ni niko maganji, noma ni weni mtiaji, noma ni niko magadi, noma ni niko bagadi, noma ni mini refugee lakini saijo siko kwa kambi, noma ni very soon kikoro boy natoa kitambi, noma ni niko maganji, noma ni weni mtiaji, noma ni niko magadi, noma ni niko bagadi, noma ni mini refugee lakini saijo siko kwa kambi, noma ni
Rorasho, 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 Braga Dosho, Rorasho, 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 Kani Besha Denasho, Rorasho, 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 Braga Dosho, Rorasho, 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 Kani Besha Denasho.
Umeiva kama embe, na kukula kama sembe, na kulima kama jembe, unanimeza kama tembe. Tuko mbele kererembe, wenye wivu meza wembe, wacha madewe ni zombi, sindo god weni ngombe.
Niko na mali, ninda mifugo mahari na ganje, baite morume yo, kashamba kangeta mogoka majani, inga nimebai, luku ni fly, kasoti na tie, vacation Dubai.
Rorasho, 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 Braga Dosho, Rorasho, 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 Kani Besha Denasho, Rorasho, 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 Braga Dosho, Rorasho, Braga Dosho, Rorasho,
machipo machipo ndio tunakula kwa ma show.
Shorty yako box, they telling me to stop. Every time we step up on the scene, we make it pop. Yeah, Missy Wezzy.
DJ Flair.
Yeah, vile shorty yako box, they telling me to stop. Every time we step up on the scene, we make it pop. Yeah, Missy Wezzy. Missy Wezzy stop, yeah, Missy Wezzy, Missy Wezzy stop. Shorty yako box, they telling me to stop. Every time we step up on the scene, we make it pop. Yeah, Missy Wezzy, Missy Wezzy stop, yeah, Missy Wezzy, Missy Wezzy stop, yeah. No kitu na flex, ona vile na dress. Aki I'm the best, yeah, Aki I'm the best. She say she a queen, so I play her like it's chess. I just wanna ball out like my homies in US. I had a couple issues, so I put it in the music. I had a couple issues, had a homie feeling useless. They said they gon' run me up, I told them niggas prove it. Out here in Nairobi, swear these niggas never do shit. I roll with the trappers, I roll with the masters. I don't have the bag, I cannot lie, I'm not a clapper. Still we going up, call the gang the Kenyan NASA. Running up a check and there's nobody running faster. I roll with the trappers, I roll with the masters. I don't have the bag, I cannot lie, I'm not a capper. Still we going up, call the gang the Kenyan NASA. Running up a check and there's nobody running faster. Vile shorty yako box, they telling me to stop. Every time we step up on the scene, we make it pop. Yeah, Missy Wezzy, Missy Wezzy stop. Yeah, Missy Wezzy, Missy Wezzy stop. Shorty yako box, they telling me to stop. Every time we step up on the scene, we make it pop. Yeah, Missy Wezzy.
inanibamba ni M-Pesa. Manzi ni electrical but baby you're no Tesla. Gikuyu modobesha mahandas neketepa. Manzi wako akikuja buda tapepetwa. Let's go. I have nothing that I'm doing. For me kitokea there's nothing that I'm doing. Dema kiongea there's nothing that I'm doing. For me kitokea there's nothing that I'm doing. Simu sitambui. I have nothing. For me kitokea there's nothing that I'm doing. Dema kiongea there's nothing that I'm doing. For me kitokea there's nothing that I'm doing.
Sona, talk, take, talk, take, joker, take, talk, take. Give them a run, saw baba. Give them a run, saw baba. Give them a run, saw baba. Give them a run, talk, take, talk, take, talk, take, talk, take. Give them a run, saw baba. Give them a run, saw baba. Give them a run, ra. Give them a run, saw baba. Kijana wa jiji, kijana wa dhi, kijana na tesa, ni mtu wa watu, kijana wa dhi, sawa baba. Kijana mkwanja, kijana bidii, sawa baba. Kijana mchanja, kijana ni G. Atukiliza kwa streets, watakwambia ni don. Wengine ni bomb form, na walipoa na chrome. Busy kwa machuon, nikitafuta mangondo. Kwenye grizzly niko foam ball, kani mepiga na gondo. Toka Nairobi to Bondo, kijana analeta uhondo. Mia kari, legendary, utadhani kanda bongo. Wananitambua rongo, wananitambua bongo. Jina kubwa kila mahali, mpaka watoto Bakongo. Sawa baba, chifoka the king, top of the queen. Sawa baba, me burn everything, nafanya na bring. Sawa baba, brada ni chafu nikifika kwa scene. Leta baba, nazivutanga ni kama machine. Talk, take, talk, take, talk, take, talk, take. Give them a run, sawa baba. Give them a run, sawa baba. Give them a run, sawa baba. Give them a run, talk, take, talk, take, talk, take, talk, take. Give them a run, sawa baba. Give them a run, ra. Give them a run.
I want this girl to come and dance with me like so.
Nikikazana na shule nilikazanga mashule sikafungi. Saina tana ndani ya club hataona Tuesday. Na miujipata kila sana papasaka shude. Pasa dansa mini mtoto matuste. Mafisi wanahanga ya mahaga na matute face. Na binti anakani kama yeni star wa movie. Kweli yamebeba kama nganya ya bure. Itabidi hata bili kizidi wita mele baridi na glasi ya champagne for the girl. Kite kale kimanya dance for the man. Makele mechezi non after club ni magare. Nikatikie hivi usiku yote hadi kwani.
I want this girl to come and dance with me like so.
Knock, who's there bazenga. Baby kauna kam na dera. Lafu kauna twak kwa meza. Ukiuliza why na lenga. Mbona sijichochi mini fadhela. Leo ukitaka unaweza nita Mandela. Na ukidai twende dry kwa keja. Kinidai hivyo napenda.
Napenda msupa mauru ngopaneza ngoa. Supudunga dera na mahaga pe usonga. Soko kani kitwa kona kutoga kubonga. Cheza na hiyo kitwa kirivas nikani gia. Cheza na hiyo kitu siezi baya siezi fia. Kikia bia kama tabanja nitebazu. Unaja nitoe jusitoje nuwa kanzu. Amedunga dera itabidi ndunga kanzu.
Bazenga. Baby kauna kam na dera. Lafu kauna twak kwa meza. Ukiuliza why na lenga. Mbona sijichochi mini fadhela. Leo ukitaka unaweza nita Mandela. Kidai twende dry kwa keja. Kinidai hivyo napenda.
Ujinga huo kwa nani we jamani?
Sala, ala mtukana ni aje tena?
Asi hivyo nitakujua we nani?
Utakujua mimi nani? Utakujua mimi ni nani? Wako zangu ni gani?
Kabisa.
Sikia basi. Mimi naitwa Meja na mimi napenda ndom na mimi napenda vibe. Nimeshika hadi bongo wanapenda genge wanaita vibe.
manze ya madad na bado na waroga, ndio time iko tight. Nitakupa mawaidha niliambiwa na mother jua kukaa na watu. Miukuwa na mabeste few, mbona wengi na wachache ndio wa true. By the way napenda ndengu castio, Eunice Njeri kwangu wako juu. Si kuja Nairobi by bus, nilikuja Nairobi by bus. Misiwezi kaa niko mraa nikisaka ichapa genge ni hewa na pumua, ukininyima ni sawa na kuniua. Sitachoka kuandika hizi magenge mutunishe kwa maspika. Ninaitwa Meja na mimi napenda ndom na mimi napenda vibe. Nimeshika hadi bongo wanapenda genge wanaita vibe. Manze ya madad na bado na waroga, ndio time iko tight. Nitakupa mawaidha niliambiwa na when niambie ebu decide, it's not your time, hiyo witha. When niambie ebu decide, it's not your time, hiyo witha.
DJ Flair.
When niambie ebu decide, it's not your time, hiyo witha. When niambie ebu decide, it's not your time, hiyo witha. Unadhani bila wewe tuwezi ishi? News flash, tutaishi fiti. Tutakusahau kama kamisi na memory tutoe kwa akili. Una behave ni kawe tuko na option pia sisi, hiyo ni caution. Kasi huruma singekuwa na wewe, usipo change itabidi nitembeze. Last chance, ati last chance, last chance tuliacha last year. Hiyo ndio ufalami sitaki kusikia, usipo change kanyanga. When niambie ebu decide, it's not your time, hiyo witha. When niambie ebu decide, it's not your time, hiyo witha. We decide, kauta change, it's not your time, hiyo witha. When niambie ebu decide, it's not your time,
overdose. Hapo nyuma overload, umetosha gari ligi yako ni ya 4x4. Zile vitu unafanya home sitaziongea, mihujione manze no longer. Sikiwezi yangu kia loto usiende kutangaza, it's not a secret, nimeshindwa kunyamaza. I think I'm addicted, sasa nacheza defense. Every word is my witness, nimeshindwa kukuachilia. I think I'm addicted, nacheza defense. Every word is my witness, nimeshindwa kukuachilia wewe. Oh my, nime overdose. Oh my, amenijaza mapenzi. Naweza wacha bila kung'ang'ana, lakini hawa vijana vile nawapenda ni kama laana. So generation nasikia walevi huota bia, lakini kuna siri ndawaibia leo. See, I'm not addicted to alcohol, I'm not a victim, not at all. Yalimpata Samson, yakampata Solomon. Situation igeuka tricky, kila shimo na panda miti. Contribution kwa tima fisi karura. Hey, situation igeuka tricky, kwa
Adam, beba sidu mingi. Ni mimi hapo back left, paparazzi wanaifanya ngumu kufanya usherati. Nakumbuka kabla nifuge manati, nilikuwa na wakunywa na ile koloni ya Versace. Squeeze backseat, ilikuwa love seat. Smooth na manual unafikiria ni automatic. Tint kwa window muadhara ndo hatutaki. Hapa perfection tunaifanya bila practice. Mbele naona success, nafunga hat-trick. Mi ndo the chef kwa hicho itisha hapik. Tangu tuingie kwa hii mchezo si ndo heartbeat. Nairobi City tunairan kama athlete. Just tusijali, hatukujali. Hapo tu, hapo tu, hapo tu, hapo. Usijali, hatukujali.
Haka kadem kazuri joka kovero. Kishamsham kinyam kitamtam. Shuka na ngeo sezi mendata kapedo. Dem nikafupi kanapenda magendo. Koma nikaliuliza makurutu gangang. Imebaki shangwe kelele na nderemo. Shamra shamra kelele na nderemo. Shamra shamra kelele na nderemo. Kishamsham kinyam kitam shamra sham kishamsham kelele na nderemo. Kishamsham kinyam kitam shamra sham kishamsham kelele na nderemo.
Sisi ndio majambe, jambe, 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 jambe. Sisi ndio majambe. Jambe, jambe.
Big shout out to Vince on the beat jacket. I had to do this for the fans' sake. I'm getting all this love on the fan page. And plus I kill it on a damn stage. Eating my competition like pancakes.
Ushote ngoso ini za bea machampes. Weni mrazi beste zako ni masanse. Weni babi wezi bishana na janches. In fact kabla umotoke twaza lunches.
You hella done what you think is up with this rampage. You think you can just insult me cause this man's paid? I'm a G, name a nigga that I can't slay. Don't think you can intimidate me boy, this man's brave.
Acha moto hapa sili bobo shante. Na hika Nairobi shafungua mabranches. Nishaku mark red dot kama pantre. Kauta kizogo we comply twaza changle. Chukwa hii city sindio champes. Champes, champes, sisi ndio machampe.
Nah bro, you ain't no champes. Champes, champes, you cannot be champes.
Na kusho sindio machampe. Champes, champes, sisi ndio machampe. You ain't no champes.
DJ Flair.
Kosi uradi hadi nipate nimechill na kabinti. Form ni mingi hadi anashanga na sisi kila siku ya wiki. Get tipsy na nikiget down I blow all on the whiskey. Jack DJ me na blame it on the Henny. We started out slow nilikuwa mlevi. Ish too crazy kukumbuka siwezi. Nilijiget home juu ya bed nimeblex. Si masoni mangire zime nice. Dem moja wawile zime nice. Na matasi kama pile zime nice. Mara ya kwanza ya pile zime nice. Si masoni mangire zime nice. Dem moja wawile zime nice. Na matasi kama pile zime nice. Mara ya kwanza ya pile zime nice. Zime nice. Zangu zime nice. Zime nice. Zime nice. Zangu zime nice. Zime nice. Zime nice. Zime nice. Zime nice. Zime nice. Zime nice.
This is Rancho with our resident sommelier. Leo zina nice kwa sababu tunaongea kuhusu wine.
Zimenishika, zimenishika, zimenishika yo. Mali imefika, zimenishika, zimenishika yo. Zimenishika, zimenishika, zimenishika yo. Niki zimenishika yo. Zimenishika, zimenishika, zimenishika yo. Mali imefika, zimenishika, zimenishika yo. Zimenishika, zimenishika, zimenishika yo. Niki kimenishika yo. Kiko kicho kimejificha, sini kimbicho yo. Sini kenyewe kiko kicho kimejificha yo. Kiko kicho kimejificha, sini kimbicho, sini kenyewe kiko.
Listening to the Recovery Show with Rancho and Wahura.
Whiskey, ladies say hey ukiwa tipsy. Ndio nataka chupa moja
on us today.
Kawe ni gazla chesa ya nini?
Kama kuna sommelier.
Ladies say hey ukiwa tipsy. Ndio nataka chupa moja
mine today on us.
Kawe ni gazla chesa ya nini?
Tunakunywa na wine.
Tutakunywa gin ama whiskey. Gin ama whiskey. Tutakunywa gin ama whiskey. Gin ama whiskey. bomb na staga. Tabia zilifanya mtoto chama kiona kata. Beat moja handa siju kukaranga. Banda kusupa
Drinks na my yanks, wake kamu. Drinks na my yanks, wake kamu. Sitting kona drinks na my yanks, wake kamu too. Sitting kona drinks na my dem, wake kamu. Sitting kona drinks na my dem, wake kamu too. Sini furahi kuna kiroro weka mutu ha sini furahi kuna kiroro na weka mu kuna drinks na madem ama tuna slide tu kwa madm tukitafuta maresh kwa magame tuna wewe uko game de niko game inde ninapega poster inde bisi kama ethics ita change position but bado nako
So nice and lovely, sweet and sexy girl, she's a girl for me. I'm so nice and lovely, sweet and sexy girl, she's a girl for me.
We on fire, nikiwa na yeye ni kubaya, wakiniona nawe wanagwaya. Bad girl, she's on fire, oh yeah. We on fire, nikiwa na yeye ni kubaya, wakiniona nawe wanagwaya. Bad girl, she's on fire, oh yeah.
If you're just tuning in, but you may miss a lot. Today we are with our resident sommelier. I hope I'm not butchering the name, because if I am, I apologize. But anyway, this is the Recovery Show with Wahura. Sometimes here, sometimes not. And DJ Flair. DJ Flair, tupige makelele kidogo.
DJ Flair.
Anyway, thank you so much. We appreciate. Yeah. Welcome back to the Recovery Show. That set was by DJ Flair. Afro Mash. Imeweza, tumepampika mpaka tumekula chips. Tumeanza tu, but this is the second session of the Afro Mash, and if you missed the first one, I am very sorry. Now let's move on to our guest. Please wear your hat, our guest. Sweetheart.
Thank you very much.
Unasikia mpaka venye ako settle. Wahura Kierere, guest amerelax. Anyway, our resident.
Sijaona kama Ura relax.
This is like a new person, I swear.
But I'm normally relaxed.
Sure.
I am normally relaxed.
You can't even spell relax.
No. But it's the truth. It's you guys who paint me in the wrong picture.
No problem. But today we are learning from you. And we want to learn a few things.
What do you want to learn?
Today we want to learn about wines.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to understand what they are first. I feel like hey, that's a manzara.
Wine.
Was kuna plural ya wine kwanza.
Yeah, it's wines.
Wines. Ni wines. Nilikuwa sawa, nilikuwa kujicorrect kwanza
kwa page moja basi.
So we want to know what they are, what they are made of. Kuna mahali umeandika, okay, what they are, what they are made of. And anything else. Nimekosa sikuwa na I don't know what to talk about wine.
Okay.
So once again tell us who you are. Why you are qualified to talk about. Unajua tunaweza kuwa tukisema jamaa anatuambia hapa about why na hata ako qualified. So nataka kujua certifications. Let's go.
Liva hiyo iko sawa.
Kama uko na maini bado.
So well, it's not what you think. My liver is very healthy. And this is because first things first, wine is part of a culture. It is something that dates dates back to 8,000 years ago.
Sorry, ngoja. Unajua kuna mahesabu I making sense. There's kuna mahesabu I make sense. Hii dunia ilianza 0001, si ndio? So that means we've lived humans have lived on this earth for 2023 years. So when you tell me that wine has lasted for 8,000 years, kuna kitu I make sense.
Kuna BC lakini.
Sikatai kuna BC, but nobody told us how this BC thing work.
BC works like this were years that were
it was before Jesus, no problem. But how did we go and stopped calling it BC and AD and started calling it, by then let's call it 01 or 001? Me, I have so many questions.
Well, like,
but that's not for today.
That is for historians.
Hiyo ni historians. Ile siku utapata na grill.
Ask historians on that one. But wine is something that dates back more than 8,000 years ago. And the reason why I'm saying this is because even by the time Christ was turning water into wine, this is something that was already in existence. So that's why I'm saying it's more than 8,000 years ago. Thank you very
now,
much.
Since you've said it is more than 80,000 years ago,
yes.
How, lakini ni historia wanaweza kuwa wameambiwa hata hivyo hata wao.
Yes.
But continue.
So how was it discovered? It was discovered when ancient people found that their fruit, especially grapes, to be specific, because wine is a product of fermented grape juice.
No other fruit.
No other fruit. Don't let nobody lie to you
that even strawberries. No. So easy common berry naona hapa naweza jitengenezea kitu kwa nyumba.
It will be an alcoholic drink, but it won't be wine.
Hakuna preservatives hata. Nothing.
We'll get there.
We will get there.
We're talking about preservatives. So wine is fermented grape juice. Like I said, how it was discovered is that they discovered after harvesting their grapes that the grapes were going bad, but instead of going bad, they were becoming alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. So ukiona grape inaoza usitupe.
Well, there is a difference between table grapes and wine grapes. We'll get to that. So it is safer. So they found out that it was safer to drink something that grape juice that was spoiled, in quotes, because now that was alcohol, rather than taking milk that was spoiled, that had gone bad. So instead of throwing it away, they discovered, wow. And actually, most things that have to do with wine are discovered by accident. So like the way the fruits ziliharibika, accidentally wakadiscover, wow, kuna kamyeso hapa.
Na wakaanza kuteka bega. Wakaanza kutengeneza pesa. Haikosi alikuwa anaitwa Njoroge huyo.
So now well, there's a lot of history that dates back to the wine, and I will not get to that. If you need to do research, just go ahead and do research. Just know that wine dates back very many years ago. Mm-hmm. So what is wine? Wine is fermented grape juice. That is the simple definition.
Yes.
And we have different grapes. We have table grapes and we have wine grapes. Table grapes, I mean, hizi grapes nonga kwa barabara. Those are not wine grapes.
So hizo haziwezi tengeneza wine.
Those ones cannot make that. Even if they were to make wine, it would be very, very horrible. It would be very nasty.
I stand corrected.
Table grapes tend to be bigger in size compared to wine grapes. Real wine grapes are very, very tiny.
But I can grow wine grapes.
Yes, you can, but you just need the right climatic conditions for that. We'll get to that. Yes. So
get after Kalam.
So when it comes to the art of making wine, harvest is done, and it's normally done at a specific time in the year. And
when is that?
It's normally at the beginning.
January huko Feb.
March, April.
So wine is sold. So wine is sold.
Say Kenya iko kwa vineyard ni grapes zenye wanataka zikue overripe. Okay? Because we normally have late harvest grapes.
Mtletea wine nini?
Bana ana nangoja atoe wine.
So we normally have late harvest grapes. Late harvest grapes are grapes that have stayed on the vineyard for very very long, that they are leaking with sugar, like hizo yani zimekuwa tamu sana, zimekuwa excessively ripe, ni kama bananas zikikaa sana venye zinakanga overripe. So we also have those grapes, and those grapes are the ones that are best for making sweet wine. Okay. But another way you can come up with sweet wine is when you're carrying out fermentation, of which now you have now harvested your grapes, and now you have gone to remove the skin, and you have removed the stalk, and you are now making the juice. You have come up with the juice, and then now you add yeast. Winemakers add yeast to what is it called, to start the fermentation process. So fermentation takes place, it's the yeast cuts down the sugar, it eats up the sugar, then now it comes up with alcohol, carbon dioxide, and heat. That is the product of fermentation. So
when you do that, are you putting them like in a chamber or burn them, like heat them up?
kuna nini naitwaje kama kuna, what is it called, like a big
chamber,
not chamber, what should I say, it's like a big sufuria, for example.
So you just put them all inside.
Zinakuanga zimekwa pahali kubwa, like some big place, and that whole process is
koroga tu.
Yes. Then now, after you've added your yeast and now fermentation has started, what happens when it comes to sweet wine is the fermentation process is never complete. So meaning the winemaker, depending on the taste that he wants the wine to have, attach a bit of sugar for the wine to be sweet.
Very sweet.
Not very sweet, to be sweet.
Oh,
okay. So when it comes to dry wine, what happens is that the fermentation process quite complete. So there are no sugars in that wine.
That's why it's called dry.
Dry wine.
And that is why it's called dry.
Yes. And that's
so
why
dry wine has no sugar at all. Completely eaten by the yeast.
Yes. Okay. So what we have is just alcohol, that thing, and juice.
Percentage.
Well, when it comes to percentage, there are wines that have high alcohol percentage, of which wine never goes beyond 15%.
Yeah. Why is that? Why is that?
The most
why is that?
The church wine is normally 17. Is it 17 point something percent? And that is because it's not just your ordinary wine. That is a fortified wine. We'll get to that.
Fortified.
Yes, we'll get to that. So regular wine, like I said, never goes beyond 15% alcohol. Unless it is, like I said, fortified. Now, when it comes to sweet wines, because the alcohol is, the fermentation process was not complete, therefore the alcohol will be a bit lower in percentage.
So the sweeter the alcohol,
the sweeter the wine, the lower
sweeter the wine, the lower the alcohol content.
Yes, and that will be you around 8%, 9%, 10%, thereabout. But we also have dry wines that have low level of alcohol, which could be around 11%.
Why is that the case, considering the sugar is gone?
Well, I think it's mostly dependent on the grape, but it's rare for you to find a dry wine that has a very low alcohol percentage. Most dry wines actually start from 12%. Now, that's now where we talk about body and the character of a wine.
Just before we go there,
yes.
Is the 15% like a regulated standard that wine should have? Because I'm trying to understand. You see, like spirits zinakuanga at least 40, because that's probably the regulated percentage. So is it that wine is also regulated to 15, so that the fortified ndo zinafika 17?
I think
mbona ziko 15 zote?
Like I said,
ama tuite kebs hapa. Hiyo ni ya kebs.
There's something that governs wine making. We have wine rules in the world. There are things you can do to wine and there are things you can't do to wine. For it to go beyond 15%, it means it has been added a spirit.
Oh, yes. It's now saturated.
It has been something like brandy has been added to it, for example.
You're in the fortified.
Yes, that is fortified wine. So that, like I said, when it comes to doing the fermentation process, you'll see the alcohol never goes too high. Okay, so when it has been added, the brandies or rather that spirit, it will therefore have a high level of alcohol. I think also because naturally, I would like to call it a natural process of fermentation. It's like, for example, Muratina.
Which is
Naturally-
wine for a traditional wine. Yes.
Don't call it traditional wine, traditional alcohol brew.
But it tastes like wine.
No, doesn't. You can't say it's wine. Like
Kweli
I
uongo
said,
flair.
the
Damn.
definition of wine is fermented grape juice.
Okay.
Muratina does not use grapes. Okay, so
Okay, hapo umetupata. Hapo umetupata.
so you see, like when it's a natural fermentation process, you don't expect that thing to have really, really high percentage of alcohol.
Yes.
Exactly.
Unless added.
Yes, unless something has been added for it to
Be that high. Okay.
be that
It
high.
makes sense.
Right? So well, now like I said, there are very many factors that contribute to you having a vineyard. And we call these factors terroir. We call it terroir. Terroir is the tradition of the place, the climatic conditions, whether it's hot or cold, and we have the soil that also contributes to how those grapes will taste, and the terrain. Terrain is whether it is slopey or it is flat, and when it comes to terroir, in specific climate, there are places, especially like it's self-taught, and it's research that I've done. So
if
things
anyone
that I
has
have
any
learned.
corrections,
because of my
we stand
line-
corrected.
Yes, because of my line of work.
Yes.
But according to my understanding is that the climatic conditions in Kenya may not be as favorable for vineyards, okay, to thrive. Okay? So when you look at
So they
South
don't like
Africa-
extremely cold or extremely hot.
extremely hot.
They
let
like
me say.
extremely hot.
They don't like extremely hot.
So they like
will
moderate.
not thrive in extremely hot conditions.
Because I'm trying to think if they don't want that. Tukienda
Because
Limuru tutafute
The
shamba.
warmer the place, the more acidic the grapes will be. Okay, and you don't want really high levels of acidity in your wine, because high levels of acidity will not make it a pleasant wine to drink. You'll be drinking and you're
Kidogo
just
bitterness.
looking for
Ni kama unachapa shot.
you're just looking for something.
Doesn't
to-
that mean now it might have more alcohol percentage in a way?
It's not even about alcohol percentage. Like I said, alcohol will be there, yes, but acidity as well is
Itachoma.
it haitakuwa poa
Pleasant.
ikiwa, yes. So now so South Africa, for example, South African terroir, it is made up of diverse landscape, which is beautiful. It has cool coastlines and dramatic mountain ranges and valleys, and therefore ancient soils there really contribute to how the vineyards grow. By ancient soil, I mean you find an area was previously an orchard, and being an orchard, unapata hapo maybe oranges were growing, so the soil has picked up some of the flavor profiles of those oranges. So when you grow your grapes, okay,
They go align with it.
yes, they will pick up some of the characters of those fruits that were growing in that orchard.
So people that want to mix almost fruit flavors, do
Yeah.
they do that?
No. Now, when it comes to grapes, or rather wine tasting, I don't know if you've ever been keen and had.
I thought you were going to ask, I don't know if you attended one. No.
I
No.
don't know whether-
That is a definite no.
I don't know whether you've been keen and maybe heard from movies, oh, this tastes like lime, this tastes like lemon, this tastes like, this one is citrusy,
Yes.
this one tastes like black pepper, this one tastes like leather. So when it comes to those flavor profiles, what happens is that in the process of fermentation, there is that chemical compound in the grape that that is existent. Rather, there's something that is existent in that grape. And for example, if that grape was grown in an orange previously orange orchard, like it will have the character of those oranges. Okay, so what happens during the process of fermentation? That chemical compound is amplified. It is amplified by the yeast. Therefore, the character of that grape is what, or rather the orange character in that grape is what will be most tasted when it comes to tasting that wine.
So it already has its flavor.
So the grapes have their own flavor.
And
It's
then
just that when
they
it
are
comes
picking
to,
up.
Yes, it's just that when it comes to fermentation, it is amplified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if it had a peppery character, that peppery character is what will be amplified, and that is what you'll most probably pick
Taste.
up when you're tasting that
Okay.
wine.
That one makes sense. Nikisikia mtu asema it taste next time nikienda wine tasting in case I'm invited. Nasikia it taste, nasikia. You see, maybe you smell that? Yeah. You know what happens in the Daddy accent? You know what happens is that the grape picks up some scent from the fruit that was there. So probably I'm sorry. Is that how people at wine tasting talk?
No.
Because I was ready to talk like that. Yes. So after picking up, I'm trying to still understand.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is rosé?
Okay, I'll define that.
Okay.
We have different types of wine.
Mhm.
We have red, we have white, we have rosé, we have sparkling, and
And
we have
dry.
fortified.
And dry.
Just wait.
Now
We
is
have
Uh-huh.
red, white, rosé, sparkling, and fortified. Okay? Among those, we have sweet, medium sweet, and dry.
Yes.
In simple definition. But when you go to a tasting, you likely hear someone saying, this one is a bit off dry. This one is brute. This is a brute. This is a demi-sec. There are those definitions that define those things. You can't smell dryness, you taste it. Okay?
What do they do?
Ulikuwa na ku smell dryness.
Wanafanyanga nini ya kufanya hivi?
So when it comes to red wine,
What do they smell?
when it comes to red wine is can be made with, okay, not red wine, but when it comes to red wine, this is wine that has been made, the juice has been intermarried with the skins, giving it color. Okay? Unaona mzabibu na ngozi yake. Normally when you make wine, unatoanga ngozi. Okay? Because the pulp is normally white in color. Even when you look at a kawaida grape, ndani inakwanga a different color. But what contributes to the color of the wine is the skin.
Okay.
So that is what makes red wine. White wine, we make it without the skin because you can make white wine with red wine grapes. So what happens is that you remove the skin to make the juice.
wine.
Yes. Now when it comes to rosé, the skin and the juice is in contact for just a few hours. That's why it will give it its blush color, pink, orange, depending on what the winemaker wants for that wine. Yani, in short, unaona ukieka jik kwa nguo iko na rangi. Sio jik lazima itakula hiyo rangi. So the longer the jik is in that water, the more the bleach will eat up the color, right? The shorter the period, the shorter the
less it will
the
eat it.
less the bleach will affect the color.
Yes.
Ni kama hii nguo yangu sasa nikiweka jik sahi, nikiweka tu kadot for a short while, ina kula tu kiasi. But ikikaakaa, ina kula even more. So when it comes to rosé, the skin and the juice is in contact for just a very short period of time. Can be 6 hours, can be 8 hours, depending on what the winemaker desires for their wine.
So the rest of the fermentation takes hours and days.
No, fermentation has already taken place, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you already have your juice and whatnot.
Okay.
But now when it comes to now making the flavor of that wine, you add the skin.
Okay.
To be in contact with the juice. Now, when it comes
Is
to
it only
sparkling-
the skin of the grapes or even skin of other fruits
skin of the grapes
only.
Hakuna skin za fruits zingine.
Juu unajua mimi kienyeji nitaenda nitafute maganda.
Bana, maganda ya grapes peke yake. Wacha
kienyo.
Haya, then now we have sparkling wine. Sparkling wine is all sparkling wine. All champagne is sparkling wine, but not all.
Because I was going to ask you, what is champagne then?
Thank you. All sparkling wine, all champagne is sparkling wine, but not all sparkling wine is champagne. Okay. The reason why I'm saying that is because
like that should be on a t-shirt.
Champagne is a region in France.
Sorry, my people on the Instagram need to hear this. Please, give me a second.
Champagne, I'll start by saying all champagne is sparkling wine, but not all sparkling wine is champagne.
For the people in the back.
All champagne is sparkling wine, but not all sparkling wine is champagne. And the reason is because Champagne is a region in France where they discovered sparkling wine. A monk actually discovered sparkling wine. So what happened in France is that they patented the name champagne. Meaning, wherever you are in the world and you're making sparkling wine, and as long as it has not come from champagne, you can't call it champagne. Yes, the style is the same, but you can't call it champagne. It will just be a sparkling wine. If it comes from Spain, you'll call it cava. If it comes from Italy, you'll call it Prosecco. If it comes from South Africa, you'll give it the name MCC or CC. But in short, all that is sparkling wine is just that the region it comes from is different. Now,
so all champagne comes from?
Champagne. All champagne comes from France.
Oh,
sorry.
Too late. Washapotea.
Sorry. All champagne comes from France.
So any kind of champagne we see, it comes from France.
Yes.
And the one comes from Spain is called
Cava. Cava.
Cava. From Italy?
Porto is a fortified wine. Okay?
That comes from?
Portugal, mostly. So
hii mambo hata ukanikalisha mwaka moja.
Because I teach, now you'll have to learn these things.
Do people pay for this?
Yes, they should pay.
Flair, we are getting free content.
That's why when testing, you have to pay for it. Because you're paying for the knowledge that person has, and you're paying for the alcohol that you're going to be drinking.
Wahura ni mtu akona pesa mbaya.
So amen in Jesus' name. So first and foremost, remember that there are so many grapes in the world. We can't exhaust all of them, and all of them have their names, the ones that have been discovered. We have Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a red wine grape. We have Sauvignon Blanc, which is a white wine grape. We have Chardonnay, which is a white wine grape. We have Chenin Blanc, white wine grape. So there's so many grapes in the world. Now, back to our sparkling wine. What happens with sparkling wine, it goes through two steps of fermentation. There's the first fermentation process, which was the initial process of making the wine. Then there's the second fermentation that normally happens in the bottle. It happens in the bottle to create that pressure that pops when you're opening a sparkling wine.
Okay.
So that second fermentation process is what gives it the bubbles.
And the fizzing.
And all that.
At least you're
now, when it comes to
So hold up. Why does it have, is it the gas, does the gas itself have like potassium?
Remember,
making it fizz?
Remember when we were talking about fermentation, the initial process, it is sugar plus yeast,
yes,
which yields alcohol, CO2 and heat. So hii fermentation process ya pili pia ni CO2 inakuwa produced. Na ukiangalia chupa ya sparkling wine na kuanga nzito, very heavy, because the pressure that is in that bottle, because it's very, very high, it will break.
Let us go on break. It will break
a very light
a normal glass.
Yes. So that's why it has to go through two processes of fermentation, because of that bubbles and the fizzing and whatnot.
Yes.
Now we have fortified wines. Fortified wines are normally added a spirit. Okay? Previously, how they discovered fortified wine, they were shipping wines to different parts of the world. But by the time the wine was getting to these areas, isha haribika, isha spoil. So, I don't know, someone accidentally decided to add brandy to wine.
Unajua ile saa unafikirianga tu experiment mavitu.
And they
Like my guy.
Hey, looks like my guy. Other me is
And
like
they
my
were-
kind of people.
And as they were adding this brandy, it was
Simba,
it was a form of preservative. It was being added as a preservative, but they later on discovered it's making this wine taste even better. So that's why we call them fortified wines. And these wines are actually best served 60 ml and served during as a dessert wine. And don't serve beyond 60 ml. Lakini Mkenya nani ataremsha hiyo chupa yote? Na endelee na maisha. Because it's very sweet.
For example, ni gani hiyo?
We have church wine, the regular church wine, ile the Anglicans know it, yenye wanapeangwa kwa madhabahu, that is a fortified wine. We have others, utaona imeandikwa Porto ama sherry. Yes, on the bottle imeandikwa Porto ama sherry, but you will see them. As long as it's a bottle of wine and you see the level of alcohol is beyond 15%, then you know that is a fortified wine. Okay.
That makes sense.
So
Hiyo ukichapa shots tatu ni hivyo.
not really. Not
Kwanza
really.
ukichapa hiyo bottle mzima unaanza kusikia
Not really. Well,
chupa
depends-
mzima 17%.
It depends.
Ulikomino ni sawa.
It depends on your alcohol tolerance levels, because there are people who will finish a whole bottle and they will feel nothing. Okay.
Huo ni mzii. Mimi
So
inanimema. Malisa mimi.
So, like I said, there are very many grapes in the world, and
They can't be exhausted.
There are those grapes that make red wine, and there are those grapes that make white wine. So, when it comes to grapes, and it comes to taste and flavor, I normally advise, depending on your palate, depending on what your tongue has accepted, enjoy that wine. Okay, the people who enjoy white wine, the people who enjoy red wine, the people who enjoy very, very heavy reds, the likes of Cabernet Sauvignon, which will be very, very peppery, very smoky. There are people who will enjoy the lighter bodied wines, which will be a bit more fruity, a bit more floral flavors in them. So people have different taste preferences when it comes to wine, and that's where now a som comes in, a sommelier.
I'm sorry, what?
A wine connoisseur comes in, because you'll come to the restaurant and tell me, I would like to enjoy a nice wine that is not very full-bodied, that is a bit light, something that will not be too bold on the tongue, something that I will just enjoy, an easy-going drink. And there I will come and bring my expertise and advice. I think a Pinot Noir will do, or a Gamay, depending on, your preference. It can be Grenache, it can be, depending.
These are actual words, my friend.
These are grapes, okay? There are people who would say, I like something very heavy. I have just had a very heavy meal, and I would like something that will be heavy. So
Nakula chipo za chwani.
there is now.
Nakula chipo za chwani unateremsha na gome.
So that's where now you recommend something like a Cabernet Sauvignon, a Shiraz, or Syrah, in other words.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Sauvignon.
Imagine unapelekwa date. What do you want for dessert? Saunyahanyaha.
Unasikia sawa, no problem. Wait kuja inside. Hiyo how much?
For times like a hot afternoon where it's the sun is out there, you want something that is going to be cool and just nice, yenye kitu itakupatia some cool vibes kwa mwili. So for there you recommend maybe like a Sauvignon Blanc, something that is fresh. And
So do you store wine in a fridge to make it even better?
yes. Now when it comes to serving wine and how you're going to preserve, not really preserve, but how you're going to serve it, we all know the rule of thumb: you always serve white wine chilled. White wine, bubblies, and roses. Those are best served chilled.
What do you mean by chilled?
Yani umeiweka kwa
I need you
fridge.
to talk to us like children.
Yani umeiweka kwa fridge ikashika baridi. You can put it in the refrigerator for like
half a day.
Yes, can be half a day depending on what time you want to enjoy that drink, or you can use an ice bucket for a few minutes for it to continue having that chilled temperature. But it's best preferred you put it in the refrigerator, because ukitoa kwa refrigerator your temperature itashuka tu, itaenda ikichange tu pole pole, but when you use an ice bucket inaishanga tu mara moja. So when it comes
but
to
kitu kama sparkling wine, because of how heaviness the bottle is, do you put it for longer ama hiyo ni
the
siku mzima?
Bottle
They affect
anything.
Okay.
But you remember also the grape that makes sparkling wine. There are two grapes that are well known for making sparkling wine: Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Okay, so sorry.
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
What is that Pinot Noir?
There are people who say Pinot Noir.
What is that? What is
It's a
that?
grape. It's a red wine grape. Originated in France.
Hii busy niko nataka kuanza na grapes za kawaida.
Nimesha
Niko nataka kuanza na grapes za home, lakini niko acha wenye wanafanya waendelee tu.
Now, when it comes to, people don't think you can chill red wine, but actually it's the best way to drink it. And the reason I'm saying this is because in Africa our temperatures are not as low as in Europe, America.
Yeah.
So when something is written serve at room temperature, especially these wines that come from France, from Spain, when it's written serve at room temperature, their room temperature is 18 degrees, 15 degrees. So in Africa you can't serve it at 22 degrees. Okay? It will be a bit too warm.
Yes.
So the reason why we put red wine in the refrigerator, of which you won't put it as long as a white wine, the reason why we lower the temperatures a bit is because that way you're able to feel the flavors a bit better. Okay, if you're a flavor enthusiast or you're into wines like Vizuri, you'll be able to pick up some of these things better when the wine is chilled.
Okay.
Okay, so if it has a fruity character, if it has a peppery character, you'll be able to pick that easily after it has been chilled.
Mostly red.
That is mostly with the red wines.
Okay.
But even generally, wine is best served chilled when it comes to Africa. Because red wine, you'll chill it for a few minutes for it to just lower the temperature. Then now when it comes to white wine, rosé, sparkling, you'll put it for a bit longer.
Yes.
Let me talk about the grape Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir, like I said, is a grape that came from France. They tried to grow it in Africa back in the let me see. There was a scientist that came to Africa, South Africa in specific. Alafu akaamua his name was Professor Abraham Perold back in 1925. So he tried growing Pinot Noir in South Africa. Akona, hey, akaka grape akawezi.
I give.
Because first of all, the grape is very, very tiny, or rather it has very thin skin. So it makes it susceptible. That one. To pests and
Unaweza sema
diseases.
kononoa na susceptible is where you draw the line.
I draw the line. I normally struggle with that word, but it makes it it can be easily affected by pests and diseases. So he decided to bring it together with a grape called Hermitage. In other words, Sinsol.
Please go back. I'm sorry. There's some notes I was writing and I didn't hear that one.
So he decided to bring it together with a grape called Hermitage. In other words, it's called Sinsol.
Sinsol.
Sinsalt.
Sinsalt.
Yes.
Like S-I-N salt.
CINSALT. SAULT.
Oh, kama Kinsalt ya C. Acha endelea na story tu. Endelea na story tu.
You see, like the way tangerine is a product of orange and lemon.
Hold up. Method just grew by itself. What do you mean?
Rancho endo urudishwe school fees at this point. Because you can't be this unaware.
But it's too sweet.
Tangerine is a product of what?
Lemon and orange. Thank you.
I think I studied in the wrong era. Because what do you mean you didn't know this?
Let's take a short break. Uweze kupumua kidogo, uweze kukunywa maji.
Yes, please, because I am
Coming up next is watu wenye wanaenda Soul Fest. I hope mko na tickets zenu, by the way. 75% of tickets za VIP zimeuzwa, by the way. As of 75%. As of Friday, I think there were 75 tickets sold. Anyway, this is the recovery show as Wahura is coming to understand that we didn't know that tangerine is not a fruit on itself.
Kuna rumba ya Juja nani ya maboy, ukisaka mitumba nenda rumba ya Toy. Kuna rumba ya Kibi utajua ujui. Kuna rumba for all niggas ila rumba Japani ndio rumba.
Kuna rumba ya State House iko chini ya maji. Kuna rumba ya Bunge ya majambazi, ukileta ujinga utalala ndani. Kuna rumba for all you niggas lakini rumba Japani ndio rumba.
Hapa ni wapi? Tumezungukwa na shisha na shashamani. Pocho na vinywaji mbalimbali, wengine wanatapika wakizirai. Hapa ni wapi? Wanatuchonga mapicha ni paparazi. Tumezungukwa na warembo getikali, tunazitoka na staili za kizamani.
Kuna rumba ya Westi ya mabeste mama shanane sheki ya Westi. Rumba ni nyepesi isikuwe kesi. Kuna rumba for all my niggas ila rumba Japani ndio rumba.
Kuna rumba Karura ya kupanda miti, ukiwa kwenange hakunanga risiti. Rumba Oyole hiyo ni ya Mangwati. To all of my hoes and all of my niggas, rumba Japani no rumba.
Hapa ni wapi? Tumezungukwa na mabausa kama chwari. Kuna mapedi mapoko ya mapichi, na wanaseti michele kwenye vinywaji. Hapa ni wapi? Kuna visanga vioja mahakamani, wapenzi wapigana mate hadharani, wengine wanatekana nyuma ya taksi.
Niite rumba obunga mano majo turua tokida bilombuta ririyo manyata yawuyo rwako wakala toniwa undiso wabunja. Kuna rumba for all you niggas lakini rumba Japani yo rumba.
Hapa ni wapi? Mawochi wote wameleta utiaji, wakafungia wakubwa nje ya pati, wakaachia ofisi wafanyi kazi.
Oh yo 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 Vivi baby, mama we made it,
be right on time. It was a long way here, lakini tumefika fine. We'll be here for quite some time. Tafuta ukuta ya kujishikilia, maji teremusha kama River Nile, eh. I'll do it for the streets, for my people, everybody that has been there before. It don't come easy, had to do with defeat. Take one for the team, for you people. Wengine watajwe kwa wimbo, mabeshte wabebe kwa limo, and keep it real. Wine, rock off and wine. Ikikubamba ushike ukuta, wine, rock off and wine. Ikikwama ipake mafuta, wine, rock off and wine. Ebu geuka nishike matuta, wine, rock off and wine, rock off and wine. So that I made it in African time. I'm an African child, na niko ready kukupea good times in African style. Organize, we legalize. Leo kila kitu ni surprise. Tesa bila ku-apologize. Cause I do it for the streets, for my ghetto. Everybody that has been there before. It's never easy, hatujui defeat. Leo party kwenye streets with my people. Wengine kwa nyumba corridor. Drip tunatoanga kikosh, we keep it real. So wine, rock off and wine. Na ikibamba ushike ukuta, wine, rock off and wine. Na ikikwama ongeza mafuta, wine, rock off and wine. Geuka basi nishike matuta, wine, rock off and wine, rock off and wine. Wine it, design it, organize it. Come and say wine it. Kabla swala ukamilishe mama, tafadhali Mola mwambie milele anichunge mimi nisijeza, mashetani asinivamie, chuki wivu tunakutesa, linda kwako usiwasikie, kwa nini hatuwezi zote kupenda? Hoi wenzangu acha niwaambie, labda sisi sote na wazimu, labda laana yetu pesa, kesho ukipoteza kila kitu dunia mzima itakucheka. Wanaomba ntiliwe chai yangu sumu, wabaki yao ndo kusema, kesho wampigie demu wangu simu, hasa walivonipenda. Una mahayawani haya wana wasi watu hawa, binadamu kageuka mnyama, hayawani tunaongezea nini bidii, na roho ya mwanadamu haitosheki yake. I'm sorry if I never made you happy, I can't be there for everybody. It's easy to see when you wish it to kutafuta kasoro kwako. My man so money minded, you wanna take from everyone. Money man society, woni haya kuivunja familia. Amna utu ni kujifikiria tu, boy binadamu wote mmegeuka ya haya wana wasi watu hawa, binadamu kageuka mnyama, hayawani kabla swala ukamilishe mama, tafadhali Mola mwambie milele anichunge mimi nisijeza, mashetani asinivamie, chuki wivu tunakutesa,
linda kwako usiwasikie. Kwa nini hatuwezi sote kupenda? Binadamu acha niwaambie, labda sisi tutenda wazimu, labda laana yetu pesa, kesho kipoteza kila kitu, dunia nzima itakucheka. Mabaki yao ndo kusema, kesho wampigie demu wangu simu, hasa walivyonipenda. Mabaki yao ndo kusema, kesho wampigie demu wangu simu, hasa walivyonipenda.
Hayawa, hey, hey, hayawa, hey, hey, hayawa, honey. Welcome back to the Recovery Show here on Radio 254. My name is Rancho and we are hosting the show today with DJ Flair. And today's guest is the one and only Sommelier. I feel I'm still butchering it. Wahura Mwigui. Welcome back.
You butchered my name.
I know.
Chata.
Hata nikitype jana nilikuwa inasindikangwa hivyo. I hope inaandikangwa hivyo. Mogoye.
Mogoye is my name.
Woo, Wahura Mogoye.
You have two Swahili names.
Akona ingine atakangi kusema.
I have 2 English names. I have 4 names in general, but I prefer going by my African names.
Yeah.
Nitakwambia after this show. Lakini sing grandes. Sing grandes. Anyway, Wahura, welcome back. And you are
I'm still in shock.
Shocked that we don't know the tangerine.
As I don't know how many things I'll teach you guys. You'll have to pay me.
No.
Because this is something that was taught in science.
Tufungo tu biashara.
Class ya science.
Wongo.
Grafting.
Nani?
Grafting.
Classics.
Nakumbuka hata grafting.
Sikumbuki nini. Wala sijui nini.
Hiyo ni nini?
Classics.
Wachaneni na pombe.
Clearly naharibu our mentality.
Yes, na waharibu memory ama mkunywa rosemary. Mkumbuke vitu. But anyway, tangerine is a product of lemon and orange. Like the plant is grafted so that they can produce, or rather the two are grafted together, they're put together so that they can produce a tangerine. Anyway, that is not our topic today. So like I said, Pinot Noir and Hermitage were put together and they formulated Pinotage.
Mm-hmm.
Pinotage is a solely African grape. Yani, it is born and bred in Africa.
Please come back again.
Pinot Noir.
Pinotage.
It's a fruit.
Is a grape. The grape that
solely
was born and bred in Africa. Yani, that is not a grape that came from France. It's not a grape that came from Australia.
Italy.
Yani, it's something that was proudly grown in Africa. So, like I mentioned, there are so many grapes in the world. There are so many. And we can't exhaust all of them. But what is commonly known is commonly available in the market. But what we have seen is people have started appreciating wine. I feel like wine is an art and it's normally underrated. And not so many people enjoy wine because, first of all, they have been introduced to poor quality wines, or you've gone to a restaurant and you've asked for house wine. House wine is box wine, and that box wine was opened 4 months ago. So by the time you're drinking it, it's already flat, it has lost its flavor. So you can't enjoy it as you should. When it comes to wine, you should be enjoying the wine. You should be enjoying the flavor profiles. You should be able, to burst with goodness when you're having it.
Okay? Maisha ni ngumu, lazima tukunywe vitu kali.
You know what the interesting thing is, people will enjoy whiskey but they will not enjoy wine. I don't know, dry wine. I don't
people
know
that enjoy whiskey have a problem. How are you enjoying whiskey? Whiskey gives you hangovers and it gives you problems. Whiskey has a taste, my friend. Unaeka hivi kwanza, it stays in your mouth. No matter how expensive, it don't matter.
cheap
But
whiskey.
No. Me people that drink whiskey are just built different, man.
But I believe, unlike the way many people think that wine is for the prestigious, it's for the rich, it is for, I feel like anyone can enjoy wine. I think the reason why many people don't associate with it is because what you have seen in movies is that it's drunk by the elite, the rich.
I mean, it's what we portrayed as. Sasa sisi tutanunua hiyo pesa yote.
You'll find in countries where we are importing these wines from, it is very cheap. Like in South Africa, unaweza pata hata wine ya 400. Very good.
Wacha usinipime wewe bana.
But it's the truth. I'll tell you.
Walai.
Yes.
Maana wine ya so nne.
Wine poa sana.
Huku ni 1500.
Sina nakwambia hiyo wine unaweza pata maybe libaiwa hata na 200.
So is there locally made wine? And what's its name?
Locally made, by that you mean?
Like zile zenye ulikuwa tuambia from Leleshwa.
Oh.
Do they have a company?
Well,
like, is there an example?
Leleshwa.
Ama they're just for exporting grapes?
Leleshwa
wewe bana. Kileleshwa tena. Leleshwa iko Naivasha.
Leleshwa Vineyard. Yes, they make their own wines, but what I have come to understand also is sometimes they will import some of those grapes. I honestly don't have much information about Leleshwa because I haven't been to the place. I haven't done much research about the place.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
there's a local made wine that we can buy.
Let me say it's wine that comes from Kenya.
Okay,
and a lot of
I feel like that's what local means.
And a lot of tourists, yes, and a lot of tourists when they come to Kenya, they are really fascinated by the fact that we are able to grow grapes and make our own wine. So that is, it's like a holy grail. It's like a gem for wine lovers because they are fascinated by how the grapes are surviving in such weather conditions. So when it comes to also serving wine,
before you go there, is there an example of one each? I'm pretty invested in that. I want to try.
Yeah.
So is there an example
of
the locally made ones?
Yeah, Leleshwa has a wine. You'll see. I'm getting to how you're going to be able to read a wine bottle.
No problem.
But what I have seen commonly, they have a Sauvignon Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
A Sauvignon Blanc is a white grape, and it's normally high in acidity. And that is a wine that would be best enjoyed with something fatty as it breaks down the acidity. And
like
and
cheese.
Also, yes, like cheese.
Pizza.
And pizza.
And so when the temperatures are, hot.
Agreeing.
You'll best enjoy a Sauvignon Blanc then.
Okay.
So when it comes to a wine bottle, there are rules on how you present a wine bottle to a customer. So you've come to the restaurant, ask for a wine. I will show it to you like this. There are 4 major things that I need to mention. The name of the wine, the varietal. The varietal, I mean what the grape is. Yes. We call them grape varietals. Cabernet Sauvignon. If it's a Cabernet Sauvignon, if it's a Syrah, I will show it to you.
Susceptible.
I'll say. So the name of this wine is, for example, it could be, the name is Raymond Hugh.
Raymond Hugh. Raymond Hugh. Raymond Hugh.
Oh God. Okay,
Hugh.
let me give a simple example. So I'll show you the wine bottle. I was to come with a wine bottle, an empty one.
But
I was like, you will have to use your imagination for this. So I'd present a wine bottle. The name, for example, it's Van Lovren. Then I will indicate that Van Lovren is the name of the wine. You don't have to focus on learning the name of the wine.
I have to floss niseme Van Lovren is like Sauvignon.
So the grape is Cabernet Sauvignon. That is the varietal.
that one.
Okay. Then I mentioned the vintage. When I say vintage, when you look at a wine bottle, there's that year that is normally indicated there if you've been keen. Nonanga 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. What that means is that is the year the grapes were harvested. It's not the year the wine was made, it's the year the grapes were harvested. Because I could harvest grapes in 2023 and then maybe by the time that wine is getting to the market, it's 5 years later. So when I write 2023, I mean that's when I harvested those grapes. Okay, then the location.
Yes.
The location can be Stellenbosch, South Africa. Okay,
Stellenbosch in South Africa.
Stellenbosch.
It is a place.
South Africa. It's well known for its wine, its vineyards. It's a place that a lot of vineyards exist in South Africa. It's a winemaking region. So after I presented the bottle, then if it's a corked wine, I will use my corkscrew, remove the paper at the top, the foil, we call it the foil. Then you twist the corkscrew, then you remove the cork and serve your wine. But with time, there's different styles that have come up. There are people who are putting what is it called? Screw caps. Yani unaifungua tu kama venye mnafungwanga mzinga. And simply because corks are hard to come by.
Kuku ni ngumu kupata.
Because
Jogo ni ngumu kupata.
You guys are nasty.
Mimi naongea kuhusu jogo
mimi. So you can imagine a winemaker comes from, for example, South Africa. And the material that is used to grow, to make these corks, lazima aende all the way hadi Europe. So hiyo ni fair. Ametumia aende huko, accommodation fee
for each and every wine bottle.
Not for each and every wine bottle, for the quality he wants to use for the cork. Okay. Aende atafute, alafu wa agree. Nataka hii material, nataka ifunike hii wine, na nini, iandikwe hivi, and what. So there's a lot of money that has been used to go and achieve that. So what is the best way? Let me get a screw cap that you'll know, still close my wine. It'll still be okay.
Yes.
But the narrative that has been sold over the years is that screw caps are not good quality wines. But in real sense, the reason why they started using screw caps is because it's very expensive to get corks to close, to seal your wines. And actually, screw caps are safer to use because there's no oxygen that is going inside the wine.
And nobody can even try and...
You can't easily tamper with it. And then when it comes to corks, remember the laws of physics, expansion and contraction. When it's hot, it will expand. When it's cold, it can
contracts.
easily contract. Okay? So you've stored it wrongly, or rather in wrong temperatures. So it is likely the temperatures will mess up with how the cork will sit on that wine. And first of all, maybe you've not stored it while lying, because a corked wine, especially red wines, need to be stored while
horizontally.
Yes. So
like a horologist.
Yeah, horologist. So because the cork needs to remain wet. If it does not remain wet, what happens is that it dries up, and a product in the cork called TCA seeps into the wine and makes the wine not pleasant to drink. Okay? So
okay.
So corked wines need to be stored horizontally
and wet. Hapo nimeshika.
Hapo huwezi kosa kushika.
Screw capped wines are not bad. It's just that it was the most economical way to seal that wine.
Yeah.
And when it comes to aging, not all wines can age for years. First of all, it depends on the style of that wine, the grape itself. White wines, of course, can't go for many years. So each wine has its own time frame, and that depends on how the wine has been made. There are those that can go for 10 years in the bottle. Some can go for 5 years. Some can go for 20. So it depends on the style of that wine. And therefore, if it can be stored for longer, then the longer it stays, the better it becomes. So there's so much to talk about. There's so much
we can expound.
I haven't spoken about, because remember, this is ini masomo. This is someone's whole career.
And you're learning in one.
The people who do this day in, day out, this is their line of work. And I would say you have to have the passion and the interest for it for you to be able to thrive. Not just anyone can talk about this or teach this.
Yes.
So, for any questions that you may have, I'm free to answer. If you don't have any questions, thank you so much for listening in.
That was my time, everyone.
That was my time.
I have a question.
Yes.
Which is your favorite wine?
My favorite. Yeah. Like I said, I prefer dry reds, very bold reds. That's the likes of Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinotage. I also appreciate blends, red blends. Malbecs also. I don't mind Malo. So basically the heavy types. But now when it comes to wines, sometimes you'll find, because of the line of work, because of your judgment, you may not fully sit to enjoy a bottle of wine. Because most of the time, actually, if you find me drinking it, it's either I'm tasting it to see whether I can recommend for the restaurant. But it's
so you taste to recommend for the restaurant.
Yes,
so they bring to you.
So suppliers will come and bring their products, or rather I will go looking for the suppliers.
Who's job is quite interesting.
Cabernet Sauvignon, carry me sometime.
So they will bring the samples, we taste, and depending on how I understand our customers, or rather what I know is on the shelves, then I can easily recommend whether it's a wine to put on the shelves. So you won't easily find me going about drinking alcohol. If I will drink it for work basis, not for enjoyment.
Spendi pombe na lewa juu ya job yangu. Ni kazi yangu inafanya nilewe sasa.
And you'll find most of these sommeliers, it's very easy to become an addict, because most of the time we're just tasting. But in a real sense, actually, how you're supposed to do a tasting is not how we do it. Ati unakunywa mna meza.
But tuna taste vitu mob.
Yes, you see, like,
tasting the dryness, you're tasting the flavor.
You can't.
Utalewa after the day.
I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. When it comes to wine tasting,
no maana kuna Uber.
If you ever visit South Africa, or rather you ever visit any winery ever, umepangiwa wines 50. Unataka kuniambia utazimeza zote?
Ndio.
You can't.
Of course you can't, but najaribu kufika 30. Unachukua kidogo.
It's normally served in small quantities. But because you are going there to learn, you're going there to explore, you cannot drink. Like I'm saying, DJ Flair, you need to understand. Because you're going there for education purposes. And you want to get the whole experience. You can't go drinking like it's regular.
And to bring back money to your
have to
and investors.
Sip, taste the flavor, spit. Yes, that is what you're supposed to do in a legit tasting, because you're tasting different wines. By the time you're finishing to the last bottle, you don't want to be tipsy.
Okay.
You want to understand the flavor profile, and that's why you will be given many options. You sip, taste, spit, and then cleanse your palate.
It makes
palate
sense.
Cleansers can be like water. It can be something to bite to remove the taste that you've previously had of the wine. So by the time we get into the last one, you've been able to capture what you like and what you don't like.
Sense. Which one to bring back?
And which one, especially if you're going for business sake.
Yeah.
You don't want to get tipsy by the end of it all. So you
now,
have to...
fellas, if you've learned something, is that for you to take a girl out, ndio akuone wewe ndio bazeng, unampeleka wine tasting. If you've learned something today. Usienda kujiharibia. Now we're going to listen to one song by Wakadinali, and it's because I like it. When we come back, we're in I have just, when you were talking about susceptible, you gave me an idea of a game. So today we are playing spelling bee. Good night.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Walk ordinary again. Blow me kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Kila kitu chako napenda. Blow me kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Lakeside woman, yo. Nikibai vodka, whisky ndo chesa. Kuna line flani munga na dai kurudia tena. Ninandenga kwa VP, Rashid do chesa. Hindo line siezi kuwa mcooperative na tellers. Mresh ameoga na haringi. Naitwangwa rasta misi na ya bingi. Coronavirus na siko China. Man nime come through with a simple night man. Ulinifanya ni thrive. Na kupenda uko kwa mawazo, squeezy si rhyme. Nilikupenda sana, by the way thanks. After kukuwa my part-time crime. Kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Kila kitu chako napenda. Blow me kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Lakeside woman.
Mashallah, girl, you always on my mind. You always on my mind. You are beautiful, smooth and kind. Mauki smile unakaa so fine. Na mpenzi makerubi kaumbika na mejaza kama troli mwisho wa mwezi. I hate and I love when you drive me crazy. Cheza chini mama wesi namble wesi rezi. Ananga maringo, ako kaloleni. Hata mpeleke city sadi si mchezi. Wengine nda watupa kama taka ndani ya begi. Mami umenishana na mapenzi kama vegi.
Blow me kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Kila kitu chako napenda. Blow me kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Lakeside woman.
Mashallah, girl, you always on my mind. You always on my mind. You are beautiful, smooth and kind. Mauki smile unakaa so fine. Penzi makerubi kaumbika na mejaza kama troli mwisho wa mwezi. I hate and I love when you drive me crazy. Cheza chini mama wesi namble wesi rezi. Ananga maringo, ako kaloleni. Hata mpeleke city sadi si mchezi. Wengine nda watupa kama taka ndani ya begi. Mami umenishana na mapenzi kama vegi.
Blow me kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Kila kitu chako napenda. Blow me kisses whichever distance. Wezi rushe, ataka ni mbali ndaenda. Mtu wako mbona, nakondanga mbaya na waza mbona. Lakeside woman.
Back to the recovery show. The song is Blow Me Kisses by Wakadinali. Very, very, by the, I think in ngoma napenda katia zote. Wanasema ngoma kali ni ngumu kuchagua favorite. Niliona ni almost 4 years ago? 3, yeah? Very, very nice song, Wakadinali. The song with City Boy. The song is called Blow Me Kisses. Now we are here. You know, hata kama za zingine unachokanga na kazi yako, this part of the show is my favorite. Now today we are introducing a new game, spelling bee. Now I'm gonna give you a word. Of course it's a tough word. You think I'm here? Sommelier. Yenu ilikuwa kwanza lakini unajua spelling. Now I'm gonna give you a word. Gonna give you a word. You have 10 seconds to spell it out. 10 atani mingi. 10 ni mingi.
Asi mingi. 10 seconds. You count down somewhere.
1. Kwanza nikiona umeanza kupata sana 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 10 umefail. 10. 1 2 3 4 10.
Inafaa kwa 15.
Yes, kwa 15. 15 unajua 15 ni nini? Kila game iko na time yake. 15 ni Animal Kingdom. 1 second inakuanga ile ya nini? Ya ile game ya shout my answers. Ile ya pilipili. Hiyo unafaa ujue immediately.
Chili.
Pewa Ndoma, Watalili. Shout out to number 9. So, Wahura, your first word to spell.
Goja.
Now, as a normal spelling bee, you say the word, you spell the word, and you say the word again. Sawa? Say the word, spell it out, say it again. Sawa. Mbona unashika simu?
Nimeka chini.
Haya. Your first word is gobbled
Hata wewe mwenyewe huwezi sema.
Gobbledygook. Gobbledygook. Sawa. Your first word is fuchsia.
Fuchsia.
Yes.
F U.
Hujaisema?
Si nimesema fuchsia.
Lazima you have to wait for me. I sit down.
No. No, you are being unfair now because I look like I know it.
1
fuchsia.
Fuschia. 5. Sorry?
Fuchsia.
Spell it again.
Fuchsia. Fuschia.
Wrong. Fuchsia. Fuchsia. Umeanguka hiyo.
CSH.
Umeanguka.
Pe rahisi.
Hakuna rahisi. Ungeenda kwenu. Ungeenda kwenu. Yeah. Aya, DJ Flair, yours is very simple. Ingenious. Twende. 1 2 3 4 5. Spell it again.
Ingenious.
Spell it again.
INGENIOUS.
Okay.
Buddha.
Okay.
Yours was so easy. It's so easy.
Yours was less letters.
No,
how is it
it's
easy?
It's not about less letters.
Acha nikupe basi rais wa ura umeteta ya kutosha. Your word is very simple. Your word is Bologna. Bologna.
Bologna ama Bologna?
Bologna. Like a place, Bologna.
Bologna.
Oh, Bologna. Bologna. BLOGNIA. Bologna.
Yeah? Yeah?
I said.
Yes. 1 2
BOLOGNA.
5. Thank you.
Bologna.
Ulikuwa unaongeza aya nini?
Mimi. Sijasema sema NA.
Aya, DJ Flair. So fight is 1-1. Masikio ninakusikia vizuri hapa.
Mimi nimemsaidia.
Aya, your word is very simple, DJ Flair. Your word is ngoja kidogo ni pause.
Umenya anafaa kuwa anapewa.
Ngoja nikupatie hii. Wacha nikupatie hii. And then utanipatia next. Watu kaa ura na wanafanyanga game hizi. Sasa ananitaja mbona na mimi nilikuwa nishajitoa.
Wewe unafaa.
Aya, DJ Flair, no problem. DJ Flair, yours is very simple. Yours is Shabet. Yes, Shabet. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Kinaniambia SH.
Sherbet.
You spell it.
Sherbet.
Hebu spell tuone.
Mbona unataka Sherbet?
Sijasema Sherbet, nimesema Shabet.
Sherbet.
Si useme wewe.
Sherbet. That one.
Si spell it.
Wachana na mimi.
Kiherehere ndio uko nayo mingi tu.
It's Sherbet. Hebu spell it for us.
SHERBET.
Yes, Sherbet.
Umesema Sherbet.
Wewe umesema Sherbet.
Sherbet.
Sherbet ni jina ya mtu. Sherbet.
Na si ungesema spell Sherbet basi juu nimekuwekea Sherbet. No,
hata anapeana hata juu kupronounce mwenyewe ndio maana anafanya tu fail hapa. Wenda. Mpatie.
Spell pneumonia.
Pneumonia. PNEU 6
5 4 3
pneumonia.
Nonsense. 0.
Pneumonia. Oh, ni hivyo ura. So me I'm asking you, you are asking Flair, Flair is asking me.
Flair no simpatie ngumu rahisi.
Amina muuliza. Juu ameanguka hiyo.
Haya.
Wewe cheza kama wewe bwana.
Nauseous. Kuisha wewe.
Nauseous.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Spells again.
NAUSCEA CEOUS.
C.
Hata C. Kuna O mahali hapo.
Iko na O, yes, lakini ina C.
Iko na C.
Wapi?
Nauseous.
Kuna C.
Nauseous.
Iko na S. Where you are saying C, you are wrong.
No,
uliza next.
NAUSEOUS.
Ni kama sisiki hapa. Lakini shinda kikirudia C, kinaniambia hapa.
As in C.
Oh, wow. It's the lies for me. Haya, patia Flair. Umengoa hiyo.
Unataka mimi.
Aya, Flair.
Niambie.
Connoisseur, spell for us. Nimeshinda nikisema hiyo jina kwa show.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Nimeshapita masaa. Ana kwa screen. Lazima ni shout. We. Yeye ndipo kuliko ni mokino mamushikanishi.
Patia huyu jina ngumu. Patia huyu jina ngumu. Parallelogram ni rahisi.
Usinipe hiyo staki.
Spelia. Eudaimonic. Eudaimonic.
Sorry?
Eudaimonic.
Use it in a sentence. No. I'm British in a sentence. Eudaimonic. Eudaimonic. You. D. Y. U.
Toka huko.
Double O.
5
Double O demonic.
3 2 1.
Eudaimonic.
Hakuna.
What is that first of all?
It means conducive to happiness.
Spell it. E.
Alafu you sasa.
Sina kwanga EU.
Kinajua EU. Nilisema you mkasema hapana.
Related to happiness it's EU. Euphoric.
EU. Aya twende. Well guys what? Bado. Aya. Unaenda wapi?
Happy.
Unaenda?
Ni Flair na mimi 1-1.
Mimi hata sikuwa nacheza hii game. Mimi nilikuwa hapa for fun.
Here for the vibes.
Here for the vibes. And inshallah. Wapi yo hata nimekosa word. You give me a sec. What do you guys mean? Haya. No problem. Juu nilikupea nausea ukaanguka na kupea nauseated. Twende. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Nikasta kusikia.
Hapana. Nimesema venye vizuri sana. N A U S E.
Hata ashaanguka. Time iliisha. Flair, you ready?
Goja. I'm very correct.
Maliza.
I'm very correct.
Danganya tuendelee.
Shamaliza, mimi hakuna cha kurudia.
Anaka wale wasema, wacheni amalize tu. Acheni amalize you guys. Anyway, that was spelling B. And we found out that nobody knows anything here. Welcome to the Recovery Show. Forgive Wahula.
S-E-A-T-T.
Bwana yepa.
Nani?
Ana hepa Flair, wacha nikupatie yako sasa hivi.
Si tumemaliza?
Hapana, tujamaliza.
Time inaisha hata.
Inaisha na wewe.
Spell for me.
T-A-L-E-N-T. Bas.
Hapana.
Niranjo sasa.
Spell for me. Acha nikupatie a word very easy.
Diarrhea.
Ni unampea ama ni mimi? Spell for me diarrhea.
Uko na content man.
Spell for me
diarrhea.
D
1 2 3 4 5
7 8 9 10.
Umetoka wapi?
D-I-A.
Wacha nayo.
Double R-H. Haya, nipatie mwisho tumalize hii.
Diarrhea. Patia huyu ngumu sana.
Haina o. Nasikia niko diarrhea. Diarrhea. Ya kumalizia show to fortify and confirm that nobody knows anything when it comes to spelling bee, and everyone has gotten a zero. Everyone has gotten a zero, and that nobody knows anything. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Mpatie a word. Give him a word. Usipo mimi nitampea. Sommelier. Spell for us sommelier.
Staki yako.
Tuko hapa. Sommelier.
Sommelier. S-O-M. Tupe flair.
Uongo.
Phonetic.
P-H-O-N-E-T-I-C.
Zero.
Phonetic.
She au na X.
Wali ni? Foe. Iko sawa.
That was so easy.
DJ Flair take us away. Tupatie time kidogo ya kuweza kupumzika tupiturudishe puri. DJ Flair take us away. Tupatie time kidogo ya kuweza kupumzika tupiturudishe puri.
Mimi wangana kupea mimba na kutoka.
Teremuka kakonokono basi ni kionjo twende mamiondoko mamio ndoko mamio ndoko mamio ndoko sasi inadonjo wasi ni kumoto mamio ndoko mamio ndoko mamio ndoko sasi inadonjo mimi manganda kupea ball na kutoka unanipata na mafeki base na mogoka strip babare tatujue kumedhoka sikiasa saa base place yenye nimetoka kerive bondo woni ita nikiwa ombidho eskoko koriko hivyo ndo nitakupata nikiwa na dhimbo nikiwa ombidho muta dendero nikuwa na katia bibi ya onjivo wakerizo
MC still MCA USA USB na kachaja type C. Karakta yangu imedevelop by ADHD ndani ya Airbnb. MC still MCA USA USB na kachaja type C. ADHD ndani ya Airbnb.
MC still MCA USB
Still MCA USA USB na kachaja type C. Karakta yangu imedevelop vibaya ADHD ndani ya Airbnb. MC still MCA USA USB na kachaja type C. Karakta yangu imedevelop vibaya ADHD ndani ya Airbnb.
Screen yangu bado ni JVC, old school blood mi wona KBC. kichwa mbaya si wasiski watu wa CBC unaweza tuita Gen Z same things she still never change bado MVP tukimalizanga game sioni haya zetu zikikana shi mindo VIP kwa show zote mna attend JWK ukituona JK jeshi ya B imekaa mkuharibu South C barricade kuna wale wanaike jeshi ya D imekaa mkuharibu South B AV ukidai tuchome scene tutachoma picha jua tunaga ID MP ajeskia our plea mara IBC vitu hata tusaidi
MC still MCA USA USB na kachaja type C character nimedevelop pa ADHD ndani ya ADHD MC still MCA USA USB na kachaja type C character nimedevelop pa ADHD ndani ya ADHD
Demle si moto wa koti ambale moto wa koti ambale Bacha si moto wa koti ambale yo moto wa koti ambale The Ganso ni moto wa koti ambale yo moto wa koti ambale Genge ni moto wa koti ambale yo moto wa koti ambale
Mbali, the way I run this town you can think I'm Kali. My tracks take it left to the right party. Tangu 207 mimi yule Charlie. Dem yako nafanya
Left to the right one, climb to the left then pose. When they reverse, Kanyaga lami, bounce for me mommy, pose. Do not reverse. Tuna reverse. One man anaitwa Kimori mkenge flani toka Oyole mtu mavibes yani mavitonge akisikia beat must azitoke ana reverse the other man anaitwa Kevo big man baz kadino and you watch my player kando chezea makokoto kama Ronaldo ana reverse so one day how we waka meet pale tao tombo ya street the obsession mateke point everything tick wanna reverse
Police wanakubaya demo wako vile mahanjam na misina kubaya kuseo nite handsome kizo nite kaya Felicia na Lisa hivyo ndo mimi niliwa acquire tulikuwa na Pamela shule moja ndani ya kwaya squeezy vile na meza mara moja utagwaya na naringia sana flat tami hana taya hakuna kila kitu hana gani haya mtoto wangu kiitwa KU mtakataa hakunaga masomo KU mmekataa tunapeleka mtoi fast PI production baada ya wiki mbili ashajua reproduction ndovu ni kuu video wanijue basi weka mkono juu yes you ndovu ni kuu video wanijue basi weka mkono juu yes you
Napolangalia kalanguin kanafanyanga Sapcom liko kasiku lakini kombato ni custom penga nalia mio penda vilo na laptop baju sitaki kolona girl please put your mask on nekwendete Pamelo meza katembe anapenda lollipop analamba kapele mende lazima kwe mukamba jini ya pili ni mwende minasikia mademo kamba wanapenda mate kama karibamba
Nakuambia mikwa Henry. It's about that time. Well, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for those of you that tuned in. Thank you for listening to our guest Wahura Mugoye. And till next Sunday, stay safe, stay warm for the cold days. If it's gonna be hot, go for a swim. But thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Recovery Show on Radio 254 from 7 to 10 p.m.
Catch you next week.
Bye.
Same time. DJ Flair, take it away.
You got the keys to my Jeep. Usisituke sana mrembo, hii ni stick shift. Ignition baby, full speed. Skid accelerator, speedometer, kuserereka, speedometer, accelerator.
Spatana na maboys nikika kangoma ni genge.
Speedometer,
kakuku ni ndege. Basi samaki ni meli. Kangoma ni genge. Kwa mikrofoni mimi mkali. Utanipata na maboys nikikata maji. Wadunda sipendi vita tona watiaji. Ikiserereka napenda ndogo hiyo na ndimu na jagi ya maji moto.
You got the keys to my Jeep. Usisituke sana mrembo, hii ni stick shift. Ignition baby, full speed. Skid accelerator, speedometer, kuserereka, speedometer, accelerator, speedometer, kuserereka, speedometer.
Kawewe ni gari basi mimi ni driver. Kawewe ni nduthi basi mimi ni rider. Kawe ni bunduki basi mimi ni sniper. Kama wewe kitanda basi mimi pajama. Sexy body feel like a beam. Let me put it to the bass, I want it bumper to bumper. Umebeba bigger than any trailer. Kama wewe ni kichamba chamba.
Fotomoto inaleta ndoto moto. Fotomoto inaleta ndoto moto.
Batman thing, hitman thing. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe wasikia. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe wasikia. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe wasikia. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe wasikia. Hitman thing, Batman thing, hitman thing. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe wasikia. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe wasikia. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe wasikia. Wabebe, skilo, wabebe
Pandemic, pedi wangu anasenya hadi Kendrick. Tuko Ocha, tunavuta boza. Mamutisa ametukaribisha na mboga. Mapantre wanaona ng'ombe kuku. Madembi ringanya na kadudu. Naitrana saizi wezi toka pudhu. Mturo kwa ngatamu, 8:30 usiku. Na materrorist hana watakubom. Pasta nganga hana watakukon. Jibanchigi, Kenya ni Zalon. Alejandro, Vande Wapon.
Pandemic, koroka imeisha pandemic. Demu wako handsome pandemic. Huna chaja Samsung pandemic. Pandemic. Oh, pandemic. Pandemic. Oh, pandemic.
Naikizima washa buda cheza na nari ati buda cheza na nari. Naikizima washa buda cheza na nari ati buda cheza na nari. Naikizima washa buda cheza na nari ati buda cheza na nari. Naikizima washa buda cheza na nari ati buda cheza na nari. Shika jaba shika mtoto dele